Hey everybody, welcome to stream. Hold on just a moment while I make sure we're all good and that we've got the page up. I may not be my usual self today. I'm gonna have to elaborate what I'm talking about in just a second. I am not feeling super great. I'm not feeling terrible either, but I've had a really bad day today, to say the least, and I thought things would be good, like an improvement from yesterday. I figured things would only go up. I unfortunately can't report that as the case. See, my throat's acting up too. It's not exactly helping any, so sorry. I can't help the coughing right now. But yeah, I had a really rough day so far. I started waking up at like, I don't know what time it was actually. I didn't get as much sleep as I'd like. I've had some sleep problems I mentioned earlier. That's part of it, and I had a fucking horrible fucking headache when I woke up this morning. I've been feeling really bad as a result. I had to go straight back to sleep after I got up, and it was not pleasant to say the least. It was kind of lame. It's my fault for staying awake like really late though. Basically something I do not recommend and something I regret really heavily. It's been rough. On top of that, I've been feeling like I don't know, like something feels like my whole body's fucking biting me right now. Like, what I'm feeling right now is not the best feeling. I'm basically feeling like, how do I describe this? It's kind of hard to think on, like, how to put this into words. Like, I think it's mostly my depression causing me some problems, but I'm not sure, like, struggling to think of things I want to talk about from yesterday and today, like, a little bit. Not too much. I mean, I've got some topics I want to discuss that we'll get into over time, so I'll be more than happy to bring up quite a few different topics we can discuss, but give me a little bit for that. I don't know, I've been having a terrifyingly weird day. I don't know if that's a fourth encounter, not fourth, I see third encounter or second. I'm just gonna not count that one. I hope that's okay. Sorry if I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. I think part of it's got to do with like something I was talking about on stream on, what day was it? The 4th? I guess that was the 4th, I'm not sure. The Tetris thing. I was mentioning like a bone issue that I had, and well, I guess I can tell you guys about how that went for right now before we get into anything else. So I went over to Verizon Wireless where I got my phone originally. I was going to get it checked for like trade-in value and see about getting a new phone. They wouldn't look at my phone unless I had my mom there with me who got the like plan in her name, I think. That was frustrating. I'm still feeling really upset and torn about how last interaction with my parents went. It was kind of not that great, and had to call her and ask her if she could go with me to the phone store. It wasn't a long conversation, but I felt really uncomfortable the whole time talking on the phone. Like, I don't know, it's weird discussing this. Like, I think I've told you guys about my problem already and how I felt like I was just under a lot of emotional turmoil, not feeling really happy with my parents, and now I'm gonna have to be going with her down to this phone shop just to get my phone checked out, and I'm not sure if I can like properly unpack my emotions right now to like say what's gonna be wrong when I'm on the car ride there. Like, I can talk about it on stream all I want because it's easier to talk to you guys about it. I don't mind talking to you guys about it. Hey C's, welcome to stream. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. But yeah, actually saying this to my parents is a whole different matter than what I was mentioning earlier. Like, I feel like I don't know how to feel right now. I thought of taking a whole day to myself. I don't know. I honestly thought of taking a day to, like, just sit down and air out my head and, like, fucking try to clear my mind because I feel like I'm experiencing like all this fucking stress bubbling up in my mind right now, and it's fucking killing me a little bit. Just feeling all these conflicting thoughts and all this fucking raw emotion at once. It's like my brain doesn't know what to think right now. Good to see you, C's. Welcome to the stream if I didn't already say it. How have you been? Hopefully good. Been having a very, very slow, not that great day personally. It's been kind of rough, frankly. Give me a second or two. I was going to get the YouTube link set up so I can send that for anybody on Discord that wanted to watch who hasn't already got it. So I'm going to go ahead and get my thing posted here. I'm actually don't know if I got the copy video URL already, so let me fix this up. It's going to take a second or two. Okay, copy, almost done. Sorry about the delay here. And one sec. Think I've got it? Yeah, there we go. Now it's set up on Discord like I was intending to. Okay, we're good now. Okay, let me see. Hold on a second. These conversations. Your Minecraft group? That's interesting. I haven't played it in a long time, personally. I still like Minecraft. I don't know. I guess I haven't had an urge to play it in a while. I've been having a really, really weird point right now where I'm not really in the mood to play a whole lot. I mean, I was meaning to bring up on the stream for like a little while. You guys have any games that you're like... I don't know how else to word this, like, you like playing, you're addicted to, you basically games you play, like, every day, stuff you just play out of habit, maybe not you intend to play it every day, it's just something you end up, like, enjoying, and you pick it up and play a session of it, just because it's on your mind. That's been happening with me a lot more lately, and I haven't been playing, like... As many new games, it's just really weird for me, just because I'm used to being the type of person who... I can't play the same game, like, over and over all the time very often. It just doesn't really work with my personality. I'd like to have variety in my games. I like to have different stuff I can check out and play. Whatever I'm in the mood for. It's nice to have, like, a whole bunch of like, different experiences you can play, all these cool games that you can enjoy. Having variety in games makes it a lot easier to sit down and stomach and play different stuff. Lately, it's not been that way. I guess it's kind of started over the last few years. I don't know about you guys, I get addicted to stuff like really easy, it seems like, when it comes to games, and then it's not like a normal addiction, I guess. Like, you shrug it off relatively quickly, like... As far as I can think, the first time I can think of this really being a thing was, like, Mario Maker on Wii U. I played Mario Maker 1, like, practically every single day, and I would always, like, stop in for, like, one session to do, like, 4 or 5 levels, and then I'd stop playing just because I enjoyed going and checking out all the new levels and seeing all the fun stuff people uploaded to the game. For whatever reason, I've not had that same experience of, like, playing Mario Maker 2. Yeah, it's been like this, like, every year since at least then. It went from Mario Maker, Mario Maker, and then I remember when it was, like, a year or two later or whatever, they released, what's that even thing? Oh yeah, ARMS. ARMS is, like, another big addiction I got, and started enjoying it a lot. Like, ARMS is actually really fun, and I do miss it a little bit, but I don't think I can go back to it, because I'm not very good at it anymore. It's still a really good game, though. Then after that, I moved on to Pokemon Let's Go, and I still like Pokemon Let's Go. I haven't had the heart to go back to my living decks right now. I'm, like, at the point where it's like, I've gone through a lot of shiny hunts in that game, and a lot of them have been really good, but there's also been a handful that have taken, like, several days worth of my time up, and I couldn't switch games, and it's like, Yeah, I don't know if I'm eager to go back and finish the living decks when I want to make sure that I'm actually doing something else. I want to be able to play more than one video game at a time, and Let's Go has that problem with me. That's the biggest incompatibility me and that game have. Let's see. I'm playing Mirror and Heart Gold. I mean, you'll probably get your wish in next year, at least for 4th gen stuff. I'd imagine remakes are going to be, like, very likely to happen next year for at least the Gen 4 stuff. I don't know exactly what all is going to happen with, like, anything else. I'm assuming the whole Let's Go rumors are very likely as well. That seems like they set up a lot of references for Johto, and it didn't seem like it took them, like, a lot of time to make Let's Go. I could see another Let's Go game, like the first one being released for 2nd gen stuff really easy, so I actually kind of want that just because I loved Gen 2 a lot. Let me see. Into, like, in the summer. Cool. I remember I was addicted to Splatoon 1, actually. That was a fucking hell of a ride. I don't know why I kept playing it as much as I did. I enjoyed it, but I mean, I got into, like, the ranked play, and I didn't really get anywhere after I got to, like, B rank or something, and I remember just, like, sitting there playing and doing a lot of shit, but not really getting very far with it, and just, like, eventually just I stopped. I think I got a little bit too salty from playing every day and not getting enough progress in the game. It was a fun time while I played it, though. The music, the maps, like, the gameplay was pretty good, like, switching weapons or whatever. It was a pretty good, like, I don't know, I guess you could call it a shooter to be the right word for it, but yeah, it was a good experience like that. It was a pretty fun game for that kind of genre. Did not have the same reaction with Splatoon 2, I think because I had already played Splatoon 1, and I think I had been a little bit tired of playing the same things for so long. Hey, Ember. Good to see you. Welcome to stream. Yeah, those games, it's not the time to play them. Yeah, I can understand that. There's a lot of stuff in terms of games to, like, play, and also, like, you have to manage your time really carefully, even outside of games, and I'm not the best at that. I've been meaning to bring something up about a game, like, just now, actually, that I have been a little bit dreading, like, bringing up. Thanks, Smash the Run. Touch, that's fine. Curious. Okay, anyway, like I was saying. Right, I told you guys about that game I picked up, like, a day or two ago. I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed with, like, how things have been going with it a little bit, and I feel like I might be having a bit of a case of buyer's remorse. I thought I was going to like the game, and it's namely because it was a game where it looks like the kind of genre I would enjoy, like the mystery dungeon stuff. I've only dabbled in it a little bit, but I enjoyed playing it, and this game has got this, but I think I got in over my head on this game. I'm gonna have to describe this a little bit. This game, so apparently this game is like a roguelike game. I don't know if many people here play roguelikes very much. There's a whole bunch of them, obviously, on Switch, or if you need to find one you want to see what they're like, you can look them up on Steam and find results really easy. And so I picked up Shiren the Wanderer off the eShop, I think like 2 days ago. I've gotta say, the game starts off really simple, and then it fucking just drop kicks you in the fucking balls, like, practically, like, not even 2 chapters later. Like, it's really hard to fucking describe my complaint with this game. Like, I want to like it. I've been trying to get into it. The gameplay is overall pretty good, but there's some bullshit in the game that's, like, kind of hard to just overlook. There's one particular problem that is really driving me crazy about this game, and that's when you're playing the game, there's these, like, trap things that are set up on the ground. You're walking through the dungeon, and these, I guess the traps are meant to be, like, obstacles you're supposed to avoid. I've never seen this done in, like, another mystery dungeon game, but if you step on the trap, either it, like, debuffs you, or it'll, like, cause some status affliction to happen on your character. It can be from, like, any number of things from, like, your character will get stuck in a sleep status, or if it's not that, they'll get, like, stuck on the same tile for, like, some period of time, or your items are, like, automatically removed. There are all these ranging effects, and, like, the game is good, but they hide these fucking traps, literally, where you have no way to know they're there on the floor. And I've been playing it, and the more I've played, I've noticed, like, you'll go into an area and you'll see, like, enemies that increase in their scale. And then they have a fucking trap set up on the floor, and unwittingly you accidentally walk on the trap, and then you get fucking clobbered to death by the enemy because you can't fucking move, and you're just sitting there completely immobilized, unable to fight back. It is probably one of the worst things I've seen, like, balance-wise. Like, I guess it's basically an older game getting remade, but at the same time, I don't understand why this is, like, considered something that's worth keeping in, like, a newer iteration. Like, nobody's... Or actually, I don't think anybody would really like doing this in the game. I haven't read up on, like, the general impressions, but nobody mentions this when I'm, like, reading on the game either. It's really good outside of that one issue, and like, it's easy to die, unfortunately, and the level design, or not level design, like how do I describe this? You have a level meter with your character, right? You start off at level 1, and you, like, go up higher and higher, but your level is just like the game's, like, system. It's a roguelike, and for the system, you start at level 1 and you, like, slowly keep crawling up with, like, more power and more health to work with, and let's say, oh yeah, you're basically, like, really damn weak at level 1. If you get knocked out and killed, though, you end up losing all your levels. Doesn't matter how far you got. It makes it really hard to fucking progress in the game, because I feel like some of the design in the game expects you to be high level entering some of the dungeons to be ready to, like, face some of the monsters, like, with the high level so you don't get fucking killed immediately. And yet, they make it actively hard to avoid dying from, like, bullshit deaths. I don't know. It's not a great feeling dealing with that shit. Shit, I'm gonna have to be careful. I think I might be forgetting to increment the counter a little bit because I've been talking so much. Sorry. Like, I still enjoy talking with you guys. I just have to make sure I watch my counter while I'm doing this. Ugh. You guys had any, like, I'm just curious, has had any game purchases, like, either this year or just whenever, like, stuff you purchased recently, or even on your Switch in general, or wherever, like, you've actually been and regretting picking up? I feel like that doesn't happen too much. This game is starting to make me question if I made the right decision picking it up, though. Like, I thought it would be fun, and I'd still feel like maybe I can salvage it, but I'm not gonna be playing it right now because I feel like I'm gonna just end up disliking it more if I keep getting the same experience and fucking burn myself out just from fucking getting frustrated with the gameplay. I've had this happen with, like, a few games I picked up on my Switch, but not too many. It's just, I guess it's a problem with games in general. It's easy to find something that doesn't click with you and not realize it until later. Can't really get a good feel for something until you play it. Let me see. Can't wait for the summer. That'll be nice. Summertime's always good. Usually much more pleasant in terms of, like, weather and, like, temperature at the very least. I'm not a fan of the cold, actually. I fucking hate dealing with winter. Really get sick of the cold really easy. I deal with cold really badly. Let me see. I think you mentioned that earlier, but yeah, glad you're able to get the Ace Attorney trilogy. It's a pretty good series of games. Hope you enjoy it when you play it. It's fun. I feel like I loved playing those games. Just the, like, way they handle, like, each case in the game is actually kind of exciting. I'm really hoping those rumors for next year turn up true. I want to be able to buy more Ace Attorney. Fantastic series. Let me see. Basically all of your 3DS games and most of your Switch games? Cool. Oh, excuse me, my throat's acting funny. This is exactly what I was worried about, was whether or not I'd be feeling too great. I mean, we'll see how things go, but yeah, I mentioned I wasn't feeling great at the start of the stream. I'm feeling a little better now. If I have to stop the stream early, I'll let you guys know. I want to do a longer session today, but I'm worried my fucking body's going to fucking give me trouble today, since I already felt like a fucking headache was really bothering me, and I think I might have been getting a slight fever when I was starting earlier, so if that comes back, then I might have to end the stream early. I'll try to stay with it, though. Yeah, I was curious, because I was wondering if you guys, like, bought anything, like, stuff you regretted picking up on the system. I'm just curious to hear if anybody's got any relatable experiences from... Well, it doesn't have to be the Switch, just in general, like, bad games you picked up. I don't think I've added this one to my account yet, so... Okay, there we go, 228. See, I'm trying to think of all the stuff I haven't really loved that I picked up on my Switch. I already told you guys about how my experience with the Astral Chain went. That was actually interesting time, though, since I actually picked that back up and managed to actually figure it out, and once I did, goddamn, that's probably one of my favorite Switch titles now. Fucking good game. Goes to show if you don't like a game, sometimes it's good to give it a second chance. Stick to the same type of games? That's interesting. I don't know, I don't like having a variety of games. I don't know, it might just be me. I don't really see how people can live with playing the same exact game all the time, or too similar all the time. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but, like, I like to have variety in what I play. It feels better, in my opinion, when I have, like a bunch of, like, stuff to play, and I can pick whatever I'm in the mood for, rather than just going for, like, the same game all the time. That's one way that I end up getting really burnt out on games, if I continually play the same stuff and don't really feel like I'm getting that much-needed variety in my stuff I play. Ugh, let's see. Pokken Tournament's another one I wanted to bring up, actually. I played that, and I got it, I think, on release or whatever. I had started off with a decent time. It did, like, the reverse of Astral Chain for me, unfortunately, where the more time I played it, the more I felt like I was struggling with the game, and kind of getting angry playing it. It was not very easy to get into, and I guess I'm not good at fighting games, but it felt like there were, like, barely any people, and I was just losing over and over again. The value wasn't the best either. I don't know. I feel like I made a big mistake purchasing that game. It seems like it's got potential to be a fun fighting game, but not only are there not a lot of players in it, but just the gameplay feels a little frustrating. I'm not sure if I like the way I've seen the characters are balanced super well. I'm curious, do you guys play fighting games, like, very often? Anybody here play them? Or at least, do you have, like, fighting games you play on your Switch or just whatever systems? Like, I don't really care for fighting games, personally. The only fighting game I have is Smash Bros. That I really play now. Like I said, I used to be kind of into ARMS, and ARMS is a lot of fun, but now it's really just me playing Smash when I'm in the mood for it. Smash is good, though. Smash is really good. Smash has that unique gameplay, and I enjoy that about Smash. It's not only unique, but it's fun. It helps when it comes to, like, playing something where it's, like, what's the right word? Well, it's satisfying, it's got a different style of gameplay, and it just works really well. Like, it's fun. Even when I feel like I'm losing, I'm not really hating it. That's not really what I mean, necessarily. Like, I mean, Splatoon 2 is a good game, an alright multiplayer game, but, like, I'm talking specifically fighting games, where the point is, like, you basically do, like, stuff like punching and kicking, more or less, or you're using special attacks or whatever, you know, like, the type of side-scrolling you see in those games. Like, I could mention things like in more typical 2D fighter games, but I feel like that's limiting the definition, because, to be frank, I think, like, that's not really what I mean when I say fighting game, since Smash by itself isn't even like a typical fighting game. I think like the fighting game community actually came up with like a type of definition to describe games like Smash, which is like, I think it's called platform fighter or whatever, since Smash has a very, very different style of gameplay than most fighting games, where you're trying to launch your opponents off of like a platform and kill them that way, basically. Those are pretty fun. I've only played like so many of them. I think most of it's been Smash and people making fan games of it, though. I've not played too many of like the little, what's the right word, like the Smash clones people make. I've never played like Rivals of Ether, or let's see, what else is there? Brawlhalla. There was some other one that I saw on the Switch, and I can't remember the name of it. If I could think of it, I would mention it. It was like on there like relatively recently, but there's like a bunch of these. I've never played too many of those. Yeah, Smash is good. I enjoy playing Smash. I think a lot of Switch owners have Smash. It's probably one of the more popular multiplayer games in the system. For good reason, though. It's a really, really fun experience. Oh, excuse me. I just enjoy playing it. Speaking of Smash, you guys think we're going to see any more characters? I shouldn't say any more, but I mean, see like another character before the end of the year? I'm kind of not sure what to expect on that front, frankly. I feel like right now, like I think it's 4 days. Let me see. Yeah, about 4 days, and the Game Awards are happening. Like, I feel like this year's going to be weird, not for necessarily the announcements themselves. It's going to be probably pretty plain on that front, but like, I don't think anybody knows what to anticipate coming from this year's Game Awards. Like, we got our big PS5 and Xbox Series X launches out of the way. I guess they could go over games that are still upcoming on, like, each system, but, like, this year's been so stagnant and, like, quiet compared to every year because of the virus. Like, it's going to be interesting to see what all the world premieres this year are, like, what all the big games that get revealed at the Game Awards are. I wonder if we're going to have a chance of a Smash character. I can totally see them fucking doing it now after they intentionally skipped last year just to, like, fuck with us and not give us any pattern to actually predict by. To be honest, I can't really blame them for not wanting to bring Smash to the Game Awards last year. Especially when their final character on the Fighter Pass was going to be fucking Violet, so I'm sure everybody in the fucking audience there would have been ready to fucking scream at them if they'd revealed that at the Game Awards, because that would take away, like, all the rest of the hype. You can't just start on something as cool as seeing Joker get revealed, and then end it on another fucking Fire Emblem rep, at least not at a big event like that. I've been thinking about this, and it's not really a big deal, but, like, you think they might have switched, like, the character reveals up in terms of, like, who they had, like, revealed for the Fighter Passes? I almost feel like Steve was probably going to be the last fighter on the Fighter Pass 2. Maybe I'm wrong. Or, Fighter Pass 2, this is Fighter Pass 1, like, the whole Fighter Pass 1 is so different from what we've seen out of the new one already, like, it was all third party up until Byleth, like, there was a very noticeable pattern going forward, and then just at the end, for whatever reason, they killed the pattern, and they announced another Fire Emblem character. It felt completely out of place compared to the rest of the pass, too. Like, it just didn't feel like it felt with what they were doing for the rest of it. And then Minecraft Steve was announced, like, not that long after for Fighter Pass 2. And also, if you'd have to think, I'm like, oh, there's no way he could have been part of Fighter Pass 1, then reflect back on Sakurai's statement he made during the video. I'm pretty sure Sakurai, like, mentioned that Steve was in development for, like, a long time, so I feel like there's a possibility that Steve easily could have been, like, partially planned for Fighter Pass 1. Like, he's been in development before Banjo was, apparently. I think Banjo only got out first because Banjo has, like, less they had to think about and work on, and apparently they had to, like,
redo like certain parts of Smash just to make Steve work with it. Interesting to think about this whole thing. Like, I guess now all the I'm thinking of the wrong person. Who is it again? Like that big Smash rumor. If I remember what is the guy who leaked like the newcomers that were coming out like in the base game. If I remember what his name is, and say like that guy's stuff came full circle, and now like all of his leak has been proven true. Although I don't think any of his fucking DLC character predictions have come true. Vergibin, that was it. I was getting his name mixed up with somebody else because I remember, or like his sounded familiar to somebody. Yeah, Vergibin practically leaked the entirety of the fucking newcomer roster, and I think he even leaked the fact that like all the veterans are going to be back in the game. I gotta say, when it comes to leaks, I kind of hate leak culture really badly. Almost as much as how I mentioned yesterday about the whole cancel culture shit. I'm not going to talk about that again because I don't want to get into that fucking discussion point and have to discuss it anymore. It's disgusting, and we can discuss this later if you guys want to, but like, ugh. Like, I hate how the internet has just become a place where people are just like perfectly okay with like leaking new games or movies and not even like caring if it spoils like all of it. You just see it on YouTube all of a sudden one day. You're minding your own business and fucking spoilers shoved right up in your face. It's obnoxious as fuck. It makes it hard to enjoy new games. It's like, I want to go into a single player game that I am looking forward to, and I don't want the fucking plot to be fucking leaked on YouTube before I play the game, or to have the fucking end of the game and the final boss like shoved in my face. Is it too much to ask that I can fucking play a game blind without having some asshole upload a YouTube video that has the final boss in it, like, literally, like, a whole week before the game even comes out? Like, I hate how that's become a standard on the internet now. Ugh. Funny, you look at this kind of thing and, like, there's one person in particular who's very guilty of doing this shit. I'm sure some of you guys have seen him if you watch YouTube at all, like that, what's his name, Prosofia Gaming or whatever, that dude has put so many fucking videos that are like spoilers up on YouTube just for the sake of spoiling the final boss to get fucking views. Fucking hate people that do that shit. Not really a big deal, but felt like I had to rant about that. It fucking sucks seeing that happen so often. I really wish YouTube would fucking stop this stuff, but I don't think they're ever going to. Gets them too many views. Ugh. Let's see. I've been, like, checking on some... I was going to mention, like, I've been watching some stuff, and, like, I was looking for new show recommendations, actually. Wanted to mention this because I'm, like... I've been feeling not the best, like I said earlier, and I was watching a show I already been watching, finishing it up, and I'm trying to find some new shows. I think my depression's bothering me a little bit. Anybody got any good, like, say, well, I'm looking at, like, anime stuff that I want to watch right now, particularly, but also just, like, new shows in general, like, stuff I'm interested in checking out. Okay, I wasn't sure if my counter went up. I thought I pressed the button and it didn't fucking increment, but it did. Anyway, yeah, I was looking for some new shows. I think it's helping me relax a little more, to say the least. Like, anybody see anything good to watch? Anything you want to recommend? Just curious to, like, talk about shows. I've been, like, looking at some stuff, like, things that I'm interested in that I haven't checked out. So, I've got a few shows that I'm thinking about watching. I guess I can go over that in a second. Right now, it's just been me finishing some stuff that I already have access to. Like, I'm finally going back and watching the last of, like, what I've got left after, like, My Hero Academia. I watched the second movie finally, and I also am like, I've got one more episode left. I watched, what was it, number 88, I think? I don't remember. Probably not. I don't remember what the episode number is. Let's go check, but, like, I think it was episode 88, but, like, I watched that episode, I've got one more episode from the season left that I put off so I can finish watching it a little bit later. Hey, Melee Kirby, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. We're doing something I'm like already regretting a little bit right now. We're going after shiny hunting all the Regi Pokemon. So we're going to be in for a very, very long series of shiny hunting streams in the future. Starting with this guy on an alternate profile, and then moving up to getting everything until we've got Regigigas. Oh boy. Interesting experience. Yeah, this was originally going to be my last Regi I went for, but I decided that I should do it now. I figured it'd be easier to just go after the one that I'm going to have on an alternate profile and transfer it, rather than waiting on it until later. That way I won't forget. Oh, man. I hope they continue with, like, making some more, like... I know they don't do, like, a lot of themed, like, Pokemon. They do, like, new stuff every now and then, like, new evolutions or new legendaries. Like, this is, like, a part of the Regi line now. Like, I hope they continue to expand on this kind of stuff a little more and do more of this. Seeing these new Regis is actually kind of cool, even though their shinies aren't the absolute best looking, like... somebody made a concept on this that I brought up yesterday. There's like a video where somebody made a concept of like Regis for every type. I hope they consider making more of these kind of more of these kind of Pokemon for like future games. I'd love to see them expand it and make like another or 2 or 3 types of Regis at least. These are pretty good looking, honestly, in my opinion. I really like the way Regieleki looks, though. He feels me. Yeah. I almost wonder if, like, some of the names are meant to be hints at something else. I don't know, the Regigigas name is really weird. Well, I think there was like a Pokédex that was an entry that was really funny about Regigigas and Gen 4 that was like, had people wondering about this exact thing. I'd have to go check it. It was an interesting topic. Also... That's right, kind of want to think, like, can you listen to the cries of the Pokemon in the Pokédex? I can't remember. Let me see. Yeah, I can hear it. It's kind of weird sounding. I'm gonna say, because I wanted to listen to this for a second. Huh. I was just doing this because my friend who's in chat right now, Melee Kirby, like, showed me something on his stream recently with the Regis. Basically, he was like doing like this, getting these Regis for like a save file, and like pulled up a clip of their cries in like the anime. I think it might have been a movie. Talk about it in just a second. Hang on a second, I'm checking my chat for messages that I might have missed. About Regi at the Game Awards? Yeah, I saw that. I'm not surprised by that. I think Regi's probably coming there because not only has he been there like every year, but also like I think he just wants to keep inspiration going for the game industry. I know he's a fairly respected figure, so it makes sense he would go there whenever he can, try to say something. I wonder if he's going to have anything to say about how his little venture with GameStop has been going. If he's going to say anything about like their future plans. Frankly, I don't give much of a shit about GameStop at this point. Like, I feel like I'm in the kind of boat where it's like, if GameStop fucking closes down, I'm not going to really feel too torn about it. Like, and sorry, Regi, you're a good man, but I don't think even you can save that fucking sinking ship, regardless of what kind of plan you have. GameStop looks like they're completely fucked, and they've been desperately trying to claw their way out of the mess they've made. Anyway, back to the other topic I was talking about. But yeah, I think I had heard of that movie. I saw it on, like, advertising. I think it's on, like, Cartoon Network or something back in the day. But, like he was showing a clip of this, and the Regis all have, like, really fucking weird-sounding cries, like, in the movie. They're all really, really weird. I don't remember them super well. It was all, like, computer-sounding, like, almost, and this is, like, really weird little chirping when they were making it. It sounded almost alien when you listen to it. Very, very weird and a little unsettling clip. I gotta say, the anime does a really good job with, like, being interesting and making, like, I don't know what the right word for this is. Like, they make some clips that are sometimes unsettling, but also just, like, the lore in the Pokemon anime is really neat to look at. Especially when you see, like, conflicting shit in terms of lore. Hope I'm not accidentally adding extra on here. I'm trying to pay, like, really close attention to where I'm at on my counter, and I think I was still on the right number. Wasn't paying super close attention. I tried to make sure I don't lose my focus on doing it when I start, so that I don't do it at the wrong moment and add one more. Hope my counter's correct, actually. Be embarrassing to be, like, several off of where I'm actually supposed to be. Oh, I think you even got the clip. Let me see. This is the one I'm thinking of or not. Okay, hold on a second. I seem to have had something happen in my... Oh, I see what happened. I should have probably tried to open a new tab. When I clicked it, it decided to fucking redirect me, and that was a mistake. Let me see if this works. Hold on a second. Oh, I think I see what's wrong. Unless I'm... No? Hold on a second. I mean, I can still see the chat now. It's not having the same problem it was a minute ago, but for some reason when I click the link, it's trying to redirect me to YouTube Studio, and I don't see that in the link when I look at it. What the hell? Why is it automatically attaching that to it? YouTube, what the fuck? Hold on a second. I'm gonna load this if it'll work. Okay, maybe now? Yeah, give me a second. I can play this. I'm not gonna put the video up because it'd take more time than it's worth to get the setup where I would have to, like, display it on the screen. I'm not really good with that kind of shit, so I'll just play the audio for you guys. Give me a second. I hope you guys can hear this well. Let me turn it up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. It's about maximum volume where it should be loud. These are like the weirdest sounding Pokemon cries in the anime, though. They just sound bizarre. Honestly, that cry noise is kind of unsettling sounding. Sounds like some... I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's computerized and... I don't know, how do you even put this into words? Like, the way they sound is just unsettling. It's just like these... I can't figure out how to describe it right, but yeah, it's alien, and it also kind of gives me a slight vibe of them feeling like they're calculating computerized aliens, kind of that kind of thing, like their noises are really fucking weird, and it's definitely a little unsettling. Ugh. I think I remember seeing these actually in, like, the anime and not just the movie, and I don't recall if they had the same exact, like, cry or not. Like, I remember there was an episode of the anime that I caught on, like, a Twitch marathon, and it was I think the episode was about Regidrago. It's really weird to, like, talk about this clip in comparison to that, because in the anime, like, they were not really shown, like, if they were bad or anything, whereas the movies, like, making them out where they're actively trying to harm the protagonists. Like, I remember watching the whole little anime thing. I think I remember in the anime, I don't know if it was Team Galactic or what, but there was, like, a team of villains that were, like, attacking, and, like, for whatever reason, there was, like, a villain team that was out, like, trying to, like, I think they were trying to kidnap the Reggie Pokemon or something. I can't remember, like, exactly what they were doing. It was something along those lines. It might have been a movie. It might have been a movie like the Arceus movie, actually. I don't remember. Like, they So I do remember Regigigas is in the Arceus movie, but like there was something along those lines going on, and like they were all like standing out, and I think it showed like Regigigas like getting activated, and then Regigigas stopped in to like try and stop the villains, and then like shortly after you see it get deactivated. I remember like exactly what happened. It's interesting because these two incidents like showed like completely different roles, whereas for some reason in one movie they were trying to fucking murder the main characters, and then another or instance in a different clip, like they're sitting here trying to guard the Earth. Actually, I don't know if it's in this game, but I'm almost certain there's like a mention in one of the Regigigas Pokédex entries where they like specifically mention Regigigas being like some sort of guardian Pokemon, and he's supposed to be some sort of protector that's like looking over the Earth. Really, really interesting and really, really weird. Also, I find it odd they would like go through all these games introducing this, and then they like a few years later decide to make new Regis for whatever reason. Like, it would have made sense earlier, but I guess they just now thought of this idea. I don't know. Just interesting in general. I wonder if we're gonna see like several new movies for this. Speaking of Pokemon movies, I haven't watched a Pokemon movie in forever. I might need to sit down and watch it's like one I haven't seen sometime. I like watching the anime and the movies. They're pretty good. I think the last one I can think of seeing though is like from probably Gen 3. I've seen a little bit of the Gen 4 stuff. While we're on the topic of Pokemon movies, what's everyone's favorites out of curiosity, if anybody wants to talk about that? I like the OG ones pretty well. I don't know what my favorite is. The Mewtwo movie and like the MC movie with like Mew and Mewtwo was pretty good. It was a classic in my opinion. I enjoyed that. Also liked how several years later they made like a throwback movie where they decided to go and focus on doing a movie of Mewtwo coming back. That was a pretty good little sequel movie. All the originals, I don't know, something about them just really caught my attention. I can remember most of them pretty well. The Entei movie, the Lugia movie. Did they ever do a movie specifically about Ho-Oh, actually? Because I don't remember there being one with it in it. Like, it might have been in another one. I know it was in the anime, obviously. Actually, it's an interesting thing to think about, like, I don't know why, but it's weird how they, like, skip over some Pokemon completely when it comes to legendaries, and then some of them get very specific treatment for their, like, movie when it comes to Pokemon, despite them not even having, like, mythical stats or being, like, a box art Pokemon. I don't know how they determine which Pokemon's going to be, like, on what movie or whatever. I just find it weird when I think about it how Ho-Oh didn't get any type of movie, I'm pretty sure, and Lugia did. I don't know if I added this one. I'm just gonna not worry about it and just continue. I mean, I guess Ho-Oh did already get, like, some special appearance in the anime when it turned into being, like... I think they showed Ho-Oh at, like, the end of the first episode of the anime, the whole bird that was showing up at the end, and the Pokédex didn't know what it was, and that was like the big hint that there were more than the original 151, and that Gen 2 at the very least was like actually planned in advance. I guess that makes sense why the designs are like so similar and like they feel so... I guess that's why I have so much nostalgia for them. They feel like they're very, very continued from the Gen 1 designs. Oh, man. Let's see. I'm trying to think on what some good ones. I haven't watched any of those movies in a long time, though. I hear the Gen 4 movies are pretty good, actually. Like, I need to sit down and watch them. I've seen bits and pieces of them. I know about the Darkrai movie and the Shaman movie. The Shaman movie is fucking weird. I watched a little bit of it on the Twitch marathon, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on, that they were trying to transport Shaman to, like, some area, and I think for some reason Giratina kept popping up in the movie and, like, attacking it for whatever reason, which I don't really quite understand what the hell the point of that was. And then at the end, they showed like a whole bunch of shaman, and it's like, okay, now you're just making the lore confusing. It's like, if shaman's supposed to be mythical, then why are there like a billion shaman that come out at the very end and like start surrounding it? That doesn't really add up correctly. I thought the whole point of the mythicals is that mythicals are supposed to be like extremely rare, one-of-a-kind Pokemon that there were like one or two in their species total. Pokemon lore is fucking confusing sometimes. Like, legendaries I can get where there's like more than one of them. Legendaries are rare, but not that rare, and they just make like a lot of weird contradicting stuff in the anime and the movies. I guess they don't really care that much, though. Oh, man. I need to turn my ceiling fan. I don't know why. I'm feeling fucking really hot in my room right now. Need just a second or two. Okay, I think that'll be good. Okay, let me sit back down. Right. Let's get back into the game. Thinking for a second, actually, because I got a few things I want to talk about still. I don't know how many people are still here besides, I know you're still here, Melee Kirby. Good to talk to you. Talking about something earlier before I got sidetracked. I was talking about some shows. I've been looking for, like, new show recommendations because I've been needing some stuff to keep my mind occupied. New stuff just to keep me, I don't know, it feels like it's easier to just cope through the day when I have something to distract me. And I have nearly finished the shows I'm watching right now. I've been, like, binge watching One Piece, and I think I just finished, like, all the stuff that I had available in, like, the dub right now, and they just released, like, Season 11 stuff, but it's also not available outside of, like, unless you buy the episodes on Amazon Prime Video or buy them off of, like, the DVD release, which I'm not gonna fucking pay for getting, like, new episodes right now, and I would really rather not. I'd rather just wait for new stuff to drop on Funimation's website. That's something I've been enjoying, was, like, watching it. I can't really see any more right now, unfortunately, before I'm into One Piece. I just finished watching all of the Punk Hazard stuff, I think, in my last session. I got through, like, to the very end, and I think the next episode I'm watching is going to be, like, start of the Dressrosa and stuff. I think that's where I'm currently sitting at. I remember the preview I saw was, like, talking about, like, yeah, it was about Doflamingo, and I think they showed, like, old fruit that Ace had, and, like, how it was showing Doflamingo holding it. Oh yeah, Kinemon's been pretty interesting. I enjoyed the Punk Hazard stuff. I gotta say, like, in general, I did not really love the pacing of the Fishman Island arc. Fishman Island was so slow, so poorly paced, they took forever. The backstory stuff was kind of cool, but, like, when it came to the actual fucking fight in that arc, and getting it over with, like, Horty versus Luffy, excuse me, I had fucking words there, bleh. But yeah, that fight took way too long. They bloated that fight out for practically no good reason, and it felt like it just stretched into, like, 5 or 10 episodes of them, like, continually moving things up and Horty fucking just giving himself more drugs to fight Luffy. It was like, really? This is how we're going to get the fucking started the post-time skip with, like, the first major antagonist, and it's fucking him being unwilling to admit defeat. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy that one too much. Like, there was some good stuff in that arc, but definitely some annoying parts of it, too. The fucking villain and the Fishman Island stuff was, like, one of the really low points of the arc for me. Punk Hazard was actually very good, though, compared to what I was expecting. I mean, it took a little while at certain points for the story to pick up, which was a little bit on the annoying side. But if there's one thing I like about Punk Hazard, I've got to say, like, the one thing that it did really good This fucking the fight at the end, like
When Luffy fought Caesar, that was handled well. They didn't fucking waste too much time on it. They took a very, very short amount of time. They got the fight started. They got it over with in like an episode or two. Even though they had like 3 fights because Luffy kept getting cut off in fights, and I think he lost the first fight he had against Caesar, but like, I feel like I'd appreciate the fact that they did a clean fight with Caesar that didn't take fucking forever, unlike Hody. Hody took like way too long to be out of the spotlight, and he wasn't even that good of a villain, frankly. Like, they even reveal his motivation, it's like, Jesus Christ, now it's even more fucking annoying to watch this character because he's just a fucking boring villain who has like no actual motivation to him. It's like, how can you make a villain like this and think it's actual good writing? He just fucking hates humans for literally no reason. It's like, there's a lot of good villains in One Piece, but like, goddamn, and there's a lot of fucking dumb ones too, and Hody's one of the really dumb ones. Let me see. There's a new Gum Gum. Yeah, I don't remember that too well. Oh wait, I think I remember that. I think he was doing it while he was like invading the laboratory. I think he did that spinning thing when he called it Gum Gum UFO or whatever. I do like that about the show, how Luffy's goofy, over-the-top personality. He just creates new moves all the times, and he ends up sometimes never using them again for whatever reason. Kind of adds to the charm a little bit. I like Luffy's personality as a character quite a bit. Oh, man. I'm looking forward to seeing the Dressrosa stuff when it's finally uploaded on Funimation's website, so I can actually, like, keep up with it and try to see what all is put up there. Hopefully I'll enjoy the next few episodes. I want to catch up, and I think they're finally taking things more seriously, because what I hear, apparently Toei actually is now, like, headlining all the dubs from this point forward. I mean, Funimation is still working on the dub, but now Toei Animation is, like, directly involved with the dub, so supposedly things are going to go a lot quicker, and they're going to be moving their pacing up. I wouldn't be surprised if next year is spent with them not only finishing all of Dressrosa, but they catch up and get all of Season 12 done, and maybe get kind of close to getting into the Wano stuff. That's what I'm hoping will happen, is that they'll speed up and that they'll start doing a Similiu dub of, like, all the new episodes, and they'll be able to keep the dub and the sub on the same pace again. I don't think that's going to happen very soon if they do it, though. I'd be down to watch it. I just like the dub, and I'm not sure if I want to switch over to the subtitles or not, frankly. Still good, though. Yeah, Funimation took their sweet fucking time. They kept animating a bunch of fucking, like, specials for some reason and ignored the actual seasons. I don't know. Hopefully it'll go well. Ugh. Let's see. There's been, like, a lot of stuff I've been talking about. I was mentioning, like, I was trying to look for new shows to watch because I had been watching quite a lot. Yesterday, I watched, like, all of My Hero Academia, except, like, I've got one episode left that I haven't finished. I figured I'd sit down and watch the rest of it I'd already not seen. Like, I watched it was in the second movie, and I watched, like, most of Season 4. That's been pretty good. I've been enjoying watching that show. That's one of my favorite new shows I've picked up, like, recently. Like, it's done now. I think they finished Season 4, like, early in 2020. It was really, really good, though. I've been liking the plot line. The story's really good, and, like, I've got to say, compared to, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? I can't remember the name is, like, Shojin, or what they call them, like, the serialized series where they're intended to be, like, really long. I think that's what the same format that My Hero Academia follows. I think that's the same as One Piece's format. It's got the same as, like, a Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto's did, like, that kind of stuff. It's been pretty interesting. I don't think My Hero Academia is, like, quite as long in that regard, though. It's only, like, you see, like, bursts of, like, 13 or something episodes every time they do a new season. Shojin? I thought that was it. I couldn't remember if that was the name of it or not. But yeah, I think it's following that trend because they're still like, I can't tell how far. It looks like they're like halfway into like the into the series right now. Like they've got a very, very clear end point with like it's very obvious who the final villain of the show is going to be, and they're still going through like a lot of different character arcs and like developing the main character Midoriya like over each of the new arcs. It's been really good though. It's been really, really good. Anybody wants like a good recommendation for a show, that's one of the better ones I've been watching and I really like. It's pretty easy to get into, and it's 88 episodes currently, so and the long, like when you compare it to like long shows, it's got a very manageable number of like episodes. Sure, it's not like super short, but it's also not that bad. Let's see, I thought there was something else I was thinking of that I nearly forgot. I can't remember. Maybe I'm misremembering. So I was going to say, like, I thought I had another show I had been... Oh, there is one more show. This is like a different type of thing than the last two I've been mentioning. There was like a new show I picked up, like, I don't know, I want to say a month or two ago. I just stuck off of a recommendation from some video I watched. Some show called Akudama Drive. It's really, really weird and really, really interesting. I don't know if like many people here would be into it. It's got a futuristic vibe to it. I'm not sure like what year it's set in, but like it's about like this future society. The whole thing emphasizes on like the legal system in this like a time period. Like it's set in Japan, and there's this there's a group of villains. They categorize the antagonist by, or I don't know if antagonist is the right word actually, because the villains technically aren't even villains in the show. It's more like there's no actual good guy in the show. To be more precise, both sides of the story are presented in like less than great light, to be honest. But yeah, like you've got the police enforcement, who are these guys that are, you got your normal police that are just like there to stop the casualties and stuff. And then you've got these other guys, which are basically poised as the antagonists of the show, and they're called executioners, and they go around fucking, as their name suggests, they kill like criminals and stuff. And this is where things get interesting, because the show is about like these criminals that are called Akudama. It's really fucking weird, and they're all like high-ranking criminals that have like really different like, what's the right word? Talents, I guess. Yeah, they all have like different talents, and that's, you see the show like it go on, and like you see these different characters get introduced that have like different talents, and see them end up like in a team that they're working on, not by their planning and like trying to survive these attacks by these executioners, and they're going through carrying out all these operations, and it starts off like seemingly just like a normal show without like anything too interesting going on. And then you see some really weird shit like the further you get in, like you see like this thing about like some lab experiment, and like these doctors like messing with like immortality, and it's weird because like I think it's like the 4th or 5th episode, you see like something kind of creepy going on, because as they're like supposed to be finding something like something they were looking for on a train that they were supposed to like pick up from like a heist or whatever, and like then what they find inside the safe is like these 2 kids that are in here, and these kids are part of like this spirit, like really cruel and inhumane experiment for like trying to make immortality. It's really fucking weird, and the plot line's a little hard to follow. It's really good and really interesting, though. Not like I'd say it's one of my favorites. I do like what I've seen of it, though. Like, it's fascinating. Like, they develop all the characters, and like the criminals that you would think are probably terrible characters are actually pretty humanized overall. And like, some of them are not that great, but like they all have like fairly interesting stories, and to see like all their backstories, it's good. It's really good. I'm not sure how to describe all of it. It's something I've been watching as the new episodes have been popping up every week because I found the plot line just interesting and different compared to what I'm used to. Let's see. I'm not going to say any more about it right now. Like, if you want to look into it, I guess look it up on your own. It's really easy to find it. It's got a very, very easy to remember name, I'd say, since it's not... I don't think I've heard any other series that has a name quite like that. Anybody been watching anything good for new shows? Not even anime, just in general, like, new stuff. I'm curious. Like, I've been checking up on new, like, YouTube stuff some, too, actually, which I... Excuse me. Throat's bothering me a little bit, but I wanted to talk about that in a second or two, and we'll go over that. I've been looking at some new shows on, like, my spare time. I actually, like, this is the stuff I've been thinking of watching. I watched Attack on Titan, like, I think when it was new, and saw, like, the first season, a little bit of the second season. I need to get back into it, because I kind of want to check on it and see if I like it. I know they're teasing the big last season of it. I liked the plot line of it overall. It wasn't amazing, it was okay. I've been thinking about picking that back up and watching that quite a bit, though. I've been interested in watching it. Also, there were some, like, shows that I had seen that I've been, like, really interested in picking up for the time. Just, like, shows that I've seen that have, like, pretty decent recommendations. Either in Welcome to the Stream again. I do like your name, the Giver of Beans thing. That's pretty neat. Okay, anyway. Let's go back to the talk for just a little bit. So I don't know how good it is. I think it might be based on an old video game, because I remember, like, the name of this is, like, the exact same. It's a show called Fire Force. Apparently it's got, like, I don't know, it's weird to describe it. Like, it's apparently based on, like, some group of firefighters and some weird phenomenon with, like, fire starting and apparently, like, creatures causing fires. I don't know how good it is. I've been interested in it, and I've heard a lot of things about it. I've been thinking about picking it up, and I know it's, like, a recent anime that happened, like, not that long ago. From what I was talking about earlier, I don't think the video game I mentioned is quite the same. I think they took some creative liberties when it came to the anime. Like, I think the video games, like, you're just going around as, like, a group of firefighters, and it's, like, got some sort of weird system where there's, like, different abilities that each person are using, and you're supposed to put out fires and rescue people. So, I don't know. I think the characters are, like, some of the same from the video game, though. It's really, really weird. I've heard people talk about this and say it's really good. Might have to look into it. I don't know if it's worth checking out or not. It's got an interesting premise, though. I've never heard of anybody trying to make an anime about firefighting, so it's kind of caught my attention for at least the concept. Let's see. There's at least one more. I thought I had another one that I could remember. If I could remember what the hell the name of the title of what it was. Oh, right. This is an older one, though. Another recommendation I've got for, like, a show that I've been wanting to look into a little bit. Demon Slayer. I've never watched it. I've heard a lot of things about this show, and, like, it seems to be, like, a big one that a lot of people have a lot of interest in, and it was apparently, I think it happened last year. It was on Funimation site, and everybody seems to be praising it as, like, some really good show. I've not watched it. Everybody I hear talking about it talks about the... Well, how do I describe this? I'm not sure how to describe it. The actual preview of the show looks really fucking weird. I've only looked at, like, a little bit of what I've seen so far. Like, I think the mascot of the show is, like, some girl with, like, a fucking scroll in her mouth or something. I don't know. It's bizarre. I'm gonna have to check on it a little bit later. I don't know, like, as much details about this one specifically. Unfortunately, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't really know anything too particular. Anyway, let's talk about YouTube stuff, because I wanted to anyway. I was gonna switch the topic up. You guys mind if I take just a moment before we continue? I don't know why. I feel like I end up overheating a little bit more than I'd like. I mentioned earlier I wasn't feeling great. I think I need a second to go
grab a water out of my refrigerator or something and just give myself something to drink, something to make me feel a little better. Let me go get something to drink. I'm sure if I get something to hydrate myself, I'll feel much better. I need it. Be right back. Won't take that long, I promise. Ugh. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I just need to get something to drink. I don't know what it is about when I'm streaming. Like, sometimes all my sap just feels like, or my strength just feels like it's sapped. I drink like a little bit of water, and then all of a sudden my strength is back. I feel like it's not fully there, but really helps sometimes. Oh, man. Let me see. Still here, just making a small meal. Okay, cool. Sounds like that's good. I'm actually a little bit hungry right now. I didn't have the best meal in the world. It wasn't terrible. I had like PB&J for lunch. I just made a sandwich, and I think I've been like, I don't know if my sandwich making is the best, because I feel like whenever I do PB&J, I end up making too much, or not making too much, but how do I word this? Like, I put too much like jelly and peanut butter on the sandwich. Like, I remember when I was eating it, it was good, but I nearly had to like throw the sandwich away like partway through, because I remember eating it and just having like a whole bunch of peanut butter that was on there, and it was so sweet my mouth almost couldn't handle it, and I almost fucking threw it in the trash. Like, I was trying my best to eat it all. I'm really bad about like smothering too much like peanut butter or too much jelly on there. Shit, I put a phone alarm on my phone because I had been needing a nap. I said it earlier, I had a headache and needed to give myself some time to lie down, so had to set that up so I wouldn't fall asleep and forget to stream today. Oh man. Speaking of sandwiches, like, you guys don't have to bother to bring this up if you don't want to, but like, what do you guys like for food, or like for like sandwiches? I'm curious, like, if you guys like to what do you guys have for preferences, I should say, for food and sandwiches in particular? I was mainly curious to hear what everybody's favorite sandwich type is, though. I'm trying to think on my end what I normally eat. Like, I eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly, yeah. I eat plain stuff sometimes. Grilled cheese is really good, too, in my opinion. I like a good grilled cheese sandwich. Always hits the spot. Let's see. I think I've had, like, turkey sandwiches fairly often with like the right amount of mayo and the right like condiments on your sandwich, if that's the right word to describe it. Like, using a sandwich with like turkey on it can be really fucking good. I mean, really goddamn good. I think most of my sandwiches I've eaten have been like, or eaten like really plain sandwiches. I enjoy eating like whatever, but I don't really tend to mix it up too much. Tuna fish is good too. I end up eating that on sandwiches sometimes, and I enjoy the taste of tuna on a sandwich. Something about it's just good. Let me see. I guess we could expand this over to talking about fast food a little bit too, actually. Like, we're talking like those kind of sandwiches. That's a little bit harder to describe, like what my preferences are, but I eat them fairly often, I guess. Burgers are really good, if you can count a burger as a sandwich. Burgers are fucking great. Oh, excuse me, my stomach. But yeah, I enjoy eating burgers. They're really, really good. I think I might be slightly more preferential to, like, eating chicken sandwich over burgers, though. Something about a chicken sandwich that's cooked just right. Oh, those are always great. I have a very, very big tendency to love chicken if it's from a place like Chicken Express. Like, their chicken they cook Oh, that stuff is great. That's some of my favorite chicken to eat. I still hate that we don't have one in my area just yet, and we have like a really small city, so we didn't have one for a long time, and thankfully they're building one in our area, so in like a year or two from now, we'll have it completely getting chicken. There's a Chick-fil-A in our area, and I'm looking forward to going down there and eating every now and then. It's going to be a treat. Chick-fil-A's got good food. It's really fucking good. I could eat their stuff all day. That stuff is just great. Burger as a form of sandwich. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I wasn't sure if I would qualify it or not. I figured the internet might consider burger to be a different type of food just by the fact that burgers have kind of formed into their own type of sandwich altogether, almost. I think when you talk about, like, hot dog, that's when you start to blur the line a little bit further, is like, I don't know if a hot dog meets the qualifications of being a sandwich. I remember that thing from like a few years back, and there's like a thing on the Switch. I think it was like a dev thing where one of the devs did like a Q&A thing, or I don't remember what it was. It was a thing where Koizumi came up on like a Reddit post and like did something where it was like asking for like questions in one of those AMAs, and like one of the questions is like, do you consider a hot dog a sandwich? And then there's like this long post about this whole fucking topic, and I remember it got on the Switch like newsfeed. Actually, that was funny. I forgot what his answer was though. Hi there, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Or I should say good to see you, but I mean, I haven't really seen you here before. Welcome to the stream. Shadow Slayer Clan, that's an interesting name. Welcome. Talking about food talk right now, because I was in the mood to, and just an easy topic that was brought up. Let's see. A second. I don't think did I add 290? Did I already add this, or I don't think I'm added this current encounter. I couldn't remember if I had. I think I'm going to add that to be safe. Pretty sure I didn't. Where was I on topics? I want to talk about food talk a little more, actually, because I've been enjoying talking about this stuff. Well, I guess we can talk about, like, I want to talk a little bit more on the burger and everything a little bit, too, like... So I'm curious, what's everyone's favorite, like, burger chains you go to eat to? Like, there's a lot of them in America, and a lot of them are really, really good. I've expected some of these are not in other states or other countries, because the fact that, well, they're probably some that are just like American chains. They're pretty good, though. I've seen a lot of them all over different places. I couldn't name, like, all the burger places I've been to, just because there's so many of them. One of them I remember that I've had before that I'm pretty sure it's pretty big in America, and it's for good reason, it's a good burger joint. Like, Five Guys makes good burgers. I've been to Five Guys quite a few times, and I've just been out traveling. They have great burgers, fucking good. You can, like, customize your burger quite a bit with, like, all their different options. They have, like, toppings you wouldn't normally see on your... like, options for a burger, like, I remember everything they have. There's quite a few of them, but, like, one thing I can remember specifically is they let you put mushrooms on the burger, and I've actually had their burger with, like, mushrooms on it, and it's pretty good. I think they have something with, like, hot sauce or two. Like, they have a lot of really neat things you can do with them. You can also customize your fries somewhat. I don't remember what they do for that, though. Although their fries are fucking good. And their fries are really big. Like, you get a small one, and it's a lot bigger than what you'd see out of, like, a lot of other places. You go to McDonald's, and you order, like, a small fry, and you get, like, not that much to really eat. You get a small fry from Five Guys, and you got quite a bit of fries you can snack on, even... and if you did get, like, the small one, medium size is still pretty big, too. They're fucking good. They're really good. I enjoy eating there. Another one I remember that I've eaten at recently that I really like is Freddy's. Freddy's is good. I don't remember if it's just called Freddy's or what. I think that might have been it, but, like, they have really good burgers. They have a whole bunch of different options. I think they have, like, several sandwich types, and they have, like, chicken sandwich and stuff, and, like, I'm not even, like, typically ordering burgers whenever I go to Freddy's, or actually, I guess I do order burgers, but, like, that's not the main thing I like when it comes to eating there. Like, their burgers are good. They taste really good. Their fries are good too. But like, the one thing I love about eating there, they have some fucking good ice cream. Like, they've got like a whole bunch of different options for ice cream that you can pick from, and like, there's ice cream cake. There's like these different things based on like different like candy brands or whatever for ice cream they make. They do these specialty ice cream things you can order, and then there's like all these different flavors, and there's things that you can pick from. It's really, really good looking, and I love eating the ice cream there when I go there. It's so goddamn good. We could probably get into a discussion about that too. Like, I enjoy talking about that, like food talk and this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not sure what my favorite ice cream place is. There are some good ones. Fuck. I don't think I've had ice cream in a while either. Shit. Now I'm kind of hungry for it. Let's see. I'm just, gosh, I don't know why I have to think about this right now. I just like talking about it, I guess. But like, what are some good ice cream places you guys have eaten at, or places you like the ice cream from a lot? Let's see. For me, I'm trying to think on some that I can think of that are really big. We don't have a lot of options in our area locally. We have Brahms, Dairy Queen. Those are both alright. I think Brahms is an American chain more than anything. Let's see. Anything else I can remember? We got Sonic. I don't know how big Sonic is. Sonic is like a fast food chain, though, where you go in and you can get like burgers by just like driving in. You can get like a burger and a drink, and you can get ice cream or whatever. Sonic X got a very, very good fast food setup. I eat there when I need to like eat really quickly. Not the worst food, it's not the best food. I enjoy it though, and it's pretty good. Hold on a second. Imagine hearing that and then watching the stream. Must be really odd for some people who don't live in America, just because the fact Sonic is the name of Sonic the Hedgehog, and like, I don't know if Sonic is that big of a restaurant chain outside of the US, so but imagine it must sound really weird to hear the name Sonic and not really realize, and I'm talking specifically about the fast food chain. I don't know if that many people know about the Sonic or not, actually. Let me move my back again. My back's aching a little bit. Ugh, fuck. That's one thing I don't love about getting older. Fucking pains that pop up out of nowhere. Yeah, that's nothing I'm not surprised about. I didn't think Sonic was like a restaurant chain in any other place that I can think of, at least. I've never heard of Sonic in anywhere but America. I'm not surprised. Probably a lot of stuff like that when it comes to America, though. We got a lot of specialty restaurants, especially when it comes to, like, little mom-and-pop shops. Let's see. Looking on ice cream places again. You know, the one place I want to go to and, like, eat at that I haven't, and I'm almost certain, unfortunately, like, this one I think is also American only, as far as I can tell. I might be mistaken. And is like Cold Stone Creamer, or whatever it's called, that place. Like, they make some really good-looking ice cream. I've yet to visit there, though, and get some of their ice cream. It looks really goddamn good. Seeing some of their promotions, like some of their ice cream flavors, and they're so good-looking. Oh, every time I see it, it's mouth-watering. I wish I could try it one day, maybe. There was one I remembered really well. I wish I could remember what it was called that I loved, that I had eaten at, like, not that long ago. This was good place that the name of, but, like, you could go in and you could basically go to this ice cream place, and then you could, like, you got, like, a cup, and you could, like, sample the flavors there, and also on top of that, you could, like, you got a cup, you could sample the flavors, and you could, like, mix flavors. There's almost like these machines, and you could, like, mix whatever flavors you want with, like, a little thing for your ice cream. Then you pay when you're done getting the flavors you want. It was really, really good. I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately. They had some great ice cream, though. The fact you could just, like, get, like, 2 or 3 flavors in, like, one thing and blend them together, though, it made the taste really goddamn good. I don't think those are, like, super
or I don't think those are like super common in terms of. I don't know how common they are. Like those are a thing. I don't know how many common they are in other countries or whatnot, and I don't see them very much in America. Those are pretty good though. Those little ice cream places like that. The whole mixing and matching ice cream is pretty good. I like that. Speaking of ice cream though, one that I actually do like quite a bit. It's not a chain. I like the Dippin' Dots ice cream. Dippin' Dots is pretty good. Dippin' Dots is genuinely just really tasty. Good stuff, frankly. It's not a chain, it's just a little ice cream thing we have. I don't know if it's in other countries outside of the US or not. It's a very, very simplistic, self-explanatory name. It's like a little thing with like ice cream in it, and it's not like your normal ice cream because you open it and it's like a bunch of little dots in it, and like it's really weirdly, like it looks kind of weird. I'm gonna have to get a picture of it and see if I can show it really quickly. Like you see like little dots all over, and that's where the name comes from. It's all shaped like little dots, and you eat them, and that's where all the flavor comes from. It's really good. I don't think they're like sold in a lot of places though. I think it's kind of rare even in America. Like I think they're mostly sold in like bigger cities. I've only seen them at like fairs and stuff when I am visiting. I've never seen a Dippin' Dots at like my local Walmart at least. Huh. Shit, I don't know why, for some reason my brain was fucking being slow. I don't know why I almost thought for a second you didn't live in the UK. I guess my brain was... I know where you live. I'm not gonna say it unless you want to say it or you don't care, but like, yeah, I almost thought for a second it wasn't part of the UK. I had a brain fart for a second there. Ugh. Get really bad trying to remember countries, and also like, or countries might be there, I'm not sure, but like I used to get countries and states mixed up really badly when I was younger. Ugh. Anyway, let's see. I'm trying to think on some stuff I should talk about. I think I've talked quite a bit on food talk for the moment. I mean, if you guys want, we can still talk food talk. I don't mind, and I enjoy talking about it, but don't feel like I need to continue talking food talk more. Oh yeah, we were gonna bring up YouTube stuff, and then I got distracted. Right. I think you mentioned Cat Icarus on one of your things here. Yeah, excuse me, I haven't watched Cat Icarus, like, in a long time. I'm not really the type who binges his content or really watches it very often. I know what he does, and I know about his style of videos. I just have, for some reason, I haven't really had the same interest in his stuff. It's not like it's bad. Might check out some of his new stuff. I have like a set of YouTubers that I prefer to watch pretty frequently, and I think most people who watch YouTube have the same trend of like watching a specific set of YouTubers. It'll just be, you get a preference and you watch whoever. So let's see, I'm thinking on some new ones I've watched. There's some good stuff I can talk about recently. For one, Scott the Woz put up a new video, which was really goddamn interesting. It was just kind of a dumb video, it wasn't anything amazing. But like, so apparently the newest video is on the Wii series. Yeah, I think most people know what I'm talking about with like Wii Sports, Wii Play, Wii Fitness, all these games that are in this Wii series. And like, apparently there's another Wii series game that like practically nobody knows about that Scott the Woz like made a new video on. Just like, I don't know how long, I'd have to go check when the like upload date is, but he uploaded like a video on something called Wii Chess, and it is the weirdest thing to watch. It's not like it's amazing or hugely entertaining. It's just this like video talking about this, and it's like, I shit you not, this is just it's got the Wii branding, but it's a normal chess game, and there's like no actual like creative marking or whatever you would call it from like Nintendo. It's just like a chess game, and for some reason they had the Wii font on it, use the same advertising type they do with like Wii Sports and Wii Fit and whatnot. It is really weird. He goes on to talk about like how boring it is and how bad of a game it is. It's literally like a 2D chess game where you're moving around and like pieces on a board and you're not really doing much. And apparently there's not even a tutorial in the game, and you're just it's like moving stuff around. Like it doesn't even happen to be beginner friendly. It's really weird looking at it. It's I think he said it was released at least in Europe as like a console exclusive, and it's in Japan, but it's also like it's got like digital only release in Japan for some reason. It's a WiiWare game, which is really bizarre. Like the features in the game are not advertised very well. It's kind of a really shitty cash grab looking game. I'm not surprised that it's not released in the US or anything. Like I think Nintendo of America must have been too ashamed to actually release it in America, because it's literally just a chess game. Like you look at like one of those online sites where the whole point is you play chess against other people with like a little board with like a 2D setup. This is what this game looks like. Apparently it has online on it, and it's boasted as a feature, and like they also have like 10 levels of difficulty for the CPU. I've got to say, and I'm just looking and being frank, like this may be one of the worst looking Wii titles and laziest ones I've ever seen. His video on this was actually pretty interesting too, because he took like a bit of time to segue and talk about Clubhouse games on the DS. And he even went out to mention how Clubhouse Games fucking has like 40-ish games on it. And this game is just a fucking shitty chess game that nobody asked for. It was good. It reminded me of the Big Rigs review the AVGN did. It's a fun little video to watch. Oh man. Ugh. I need another drink right now. Give me a second or two. Is everything okay in the chat? I haven't seen a message in a little while, and I'm just concerned that the chat's working or if there's a problem. I'm sorry if things aren't, like, interesting at the moment. I'm trying my best to keep the stream interesting. Let me get a sip, though. I need a sip of water. Okay, I think I'm good. Ugh. Still busy? Okay, just making sure. I couldn't tell because YouTube's fucking view counter is really bad. Sometimes it'll show me where there's like one person, it doesn't seem to be anybody, or sometimes it'll show me 0 and then there's people still in the chat room, and I can't really judge off of whether or not things are working. I was a little concerned if my YouTube was fucking with me or not. I think the YouTube view count's just glitched right now. Ugh, fuck. Oh, excuse my throat. Anyway, now let's go back to the YouTube topic. It's gonna mention, like... So, actually, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit stuck with, like, speaking for a minute. It's not intentional. I don't know why I'm having trouble getting my words out correctly right now. I think it's just the fact I'm not the best at doing things like this with my stamina for long periods of time. I think I get worn out way too quickly, which is a problem I need to work on. But yeah, I mentioned the AVGN a minute ago with like the Big Rigs thing. I gotta say, the newest AVGN episodes are fucking good. I've been like keeping up with like his newest stuff, and I just watched what he did for his most recent video where he did the whole, what was it called, Taito Legends collection. That video was fucking really good. I enjoyed the last one he did quite a bit. Like, see, what happened before this one? I know the Clockwork Vampires game or whatever the fuck that was called. That one was kind of eh. And then there was that Legend of Kage thing. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that, with the whole way he handled the jokes and that, and the different things talking about that. And then the Taito Legends review. That might be one of my favorite AVGN episodes in a while. Like, it's definitely one of the better new ones. That one was really fucking good. I enjoyed seeing him talk about all these games in this collection. I wonder what happened to those collections. Like, you don't see those anymore. Not like they're terrible, and I guess you see them every now and then, but like, you don't really see these like 30 or 60 game collections pop up on consoles anymore. nowadays you're lucky if you see a collection with, like, say, I guess, like, 10 games in it in total. Usually there's not even that many. Let's see, I'm trying to think on, like, all the stuff that was mentioned here. I think that he mentioned, like, some stuff about, like, every game and, like, talking about, like, facts from them. Fucking interesting fact, the video goes over fucking, apparently Space Invader was a series. Like, I didn't know that either when I was watching the video, and James had the same sound in his voice, or it was like he was shocked that there were so many Space Invader games. Like, it was like 6 games, and several of them were just like minor improvements. Like, this, apparently Space Invaders 2 was literally defined by them making it in color. It's like, really? Like, I get that you're trying to get sequels and trying to get people interested in, like, buying more of it. Probably different with, like, back in the day when these games were really fucking old and they were the, very, like, some of their first games, or some of, like, the really early video games. Like, they were, I guess they're trying to, like, do the first arcade games. I don't know. I don't think that's the right word. Sorry if my wording's a little awkward and not the most easy to understand, but, like, I find it hard to imagine that, like, they advertised a fucking game purely based on the fact that it had color for a sequel. I don't know. Then again, I say that, and they had Pokemon and get, like, a lot of recognition when they did Gen 1 to Gen 2 with Gold and Silver being in color. So I don't know, maybe I'm not really thinking of it in the right perspective. See, I'm trying to think here. What all did I want to mention about this? Like, it was interesting to see, like, all the stuff on the, like, Space Invader stuff, like, stuff with, like, better looking graphics on some of them. One of them was, like, newer enemies where they changed the types of attacks up and changed the types of enemies. Let's see. I'm not sure there's anything else that I can remember to bring up. It was not the most amazing and in-depth, like, topic to bring up. It was a neat thing to look at for a little bit in that part. All the different games in it were fascinating, though, like all the different stuff that was in this collection. Let's see, what was another big one? Oh, yeah, I remember something of those. There's like a sequel to Bubble Bobble or something, and it wasn't Bubble Bobble 2. He mentioned this by name when it was in the video, and it was like Rainbow Islands or something, and it said, like, Rainbow Islands, the story of Bubble Bobble 2 or something. Really weird seeing that in the game, since there's already a game under this exact title, and it had, like, stuff from Bubble Bobble, and on top of that, it had, like, a neat platforming gimmick where it was, like, making rainbows to jump up. Really neat looking little game, though. Also, the collection is filled with, like, clone games where you're fucking playing and trying to, like, or not playing clone games that are, like, the same as one another in some of these collections. Oh, I think I remember some of the weird shit I was thinking of, the Space Invader shit, or whatever it's called. Like, there was one where he literally described it, and his fucking, and the colors were, like, 2 literal pieces of shit. Like, one of them was, like, a blue turd, and the other one was, like, a pink turd. It was like, what the fuck is this fucking game, and why are the characters literally shit? Like, I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that. I think there was a lot of shit, like, where they were, like, had, like, toilets or shit in the background of, like, one of the levels. The whole fucking theming of the game is really fucking bizarre looking. I don't know, Japanese games sometimes, at least in the older Japanese games, like, some of them have some really fucking bizarre designs in them. That Taito Legends thing really highlighted, like, some of the weirdness of this collection. Let's see, what's another one? Why? I hate when this is the problem where I, like, bring up something I wanted to talk about for quite a bit, and then I end up forgetting and can't remember all of it. Speaking of Bubble Bobble, I mentioned that earlier, like, anybody picked up that Bubble Bobble game that was on the Switch? I know that got, like, quite a bit of headline when it was brand new. I don't know if it's actually released outside of Europe yet, though. I think they mentioned an American release as well, even though I've only heard of the European one. I think it might have had a Japanese release already. I've actually never really played Bubble Bobble too much. I've had an interest in it, though. Find it to be a pretty good little game. It's an alright NES experience from what I played of it. I haven't really loved it. To be honest, I don't really play a lot of older stuff like NES or SNES games either, though. Give me a second or two. I'm going to look at one thing really quickly. I want to check on... Well, I say one thing. I'm going to check on like a few things on some stats really quickly. Something on YouTube. And I wanted to look at this video for just a moment to just check on one tiny little thing, actually, before we move on to talking about other stuff. I just wanted to check something on my YouTube, and I want to check this video for a second for something. Shouldn't take me too long when I pull it open. Let me make sure I've got my thing muted. I don't want my audio from Chrome going into my stream right now. Oh boy, hold on a second. Trying to think, what all should what all I want to talk about at the moment. I think I got a new encounter there. I think I heard the noise there. Oh shit, hold on a second. Did I hit the right button here? I'm gonna just take that as... Oh wait, I see what happened, I think. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna leave it at 326. I'm not sure, I think I fucked up on my counting a little bit. By the way, if you guys are still listening, what's your favorite, like, AVGN episode for anybody who actually watches it? I'm just curious to hear about, like, that exact thing. Curious to hear what everybody enjoys about it. I enjoy watching the channel that, like, makes it. I mean, AVGN, other stuff too, Cinemasker, I enjoy watching their stuff. I remember that series they did, like, a few years back that was pretty good, that... You know what's bullshit series? That was a fun thing to check out. I found that series to be really fucking good. That was just a fun and like series to watch in general. I feel like James Raw puts a lot of good and like hard work into his videos. Alright, you gotta go. I understand, man. Sucks you can't hang out longer, but I understand. I'm gonna be on for a little while longer doing this. Don't know how much longer I'm going to keep going. I think I might end up cutting my session more than I expected, though, just because I feel like I'm not sure if I can keep going. Thanks for dropping by and hanging out and chatting, though. I appreciate it. Made my day a little bit easier and a little bit better. Later, Melee Kirby. Glad you could talk, though. We're going to stream, I guess. Hope you have a good stream. Don't know if I can drop by and watch a stream right now, and I mean, right now I can't, obviously, but I mean, after I get done. We'll see. Right now, I'm going to focus on what I'm doing. Ooh, I hope I can get some way to work around this. I do need to work on my whole thing of working for trying to get more topics to talk about, because it's going to be a little bit hard to go through doing all these shiny hunts if I end up like this while I'm trying to sit here and go through this stuff. I don't want to have struggles every time I'm playing this. Yeah, I enjoyed watching his series. Anybody remember Board James? That was a fun thing from AVGN. I remember watching that. That was a good series. All his episodes on that were really good. Also a very different take from his other stuff, even more satirical and goofy, and it was funny. I do enjoy the way the humor in that was handled. You know what's bullshit? I love that. Especially the last episode, though. Fucking, and the twist at the end was actually really fucking funny. You know what's really bullshit? Or I was remembering it. My face is bullshit. That was fucking funny. That stupid twist. Gosh. James Rolfe is fucking good. I swear the man's a comedic genius. He makes some funny stuff. Okay, right, let's see. What are some good YouTubers you guys watch out of curiosity? Maybe outside the ones I mentioned if you want to talk about any. If not, it's not a big deal. I've been looking for some stuff to watch otherwise, new stuff. It's been me checking out the same old, looking at Game Explain, looking at like JonTron, Donkey, those kind of things. JonTron hasn't made a video in a while. I hope things are going well for him. It's been like 4 months since his last video, and I haven't checked on that yet, but I think I'm going to really soon. Since, I mean, it's been so long. What was his last video on? That Steven Seagal video or whatever? I don't know why he's always like taking these hiatuses and like randomly. It makes it hard to watch his content sometimes. Let's see. Donkey's had some interesting stuff going on. I found that little video he did recently with the whole I'm done making good videos, and then he made like 2 videos already, and they're both pretty stupid and pretty funny. I can't tell how this is like intended to be taken, but I think it's meant to be like a parody thing where Donkey might be making fun of like people who upload constantly and get like a ton of subscribers. I like the idea that this is like a giant joke where Donkey's going to go and end up like ending this on done making bad videos, although his last video was really fucking funny. I love how he's like, oh yeah, I'm done making good videos and videos that take a lot of effort, and then he makes a fucking Smash video that's like got a really stupid clickbait title. Fucking, and the title and the thumbnail are both really stupid and funny. Minecraft, if Donkey Kong steals all my diamonds. That video is fucking funny as fucking stupid. Fucking just a really dumb Smash montage, if you can even call it that. All those clips. Well, that's my Smash ball. Where it's like, talking about how he's like, did I mind this? He tries to hit him with the bottle smash. I love Donkey's stupid fucking brand of humor. It's actually been pretty fun, like, if you haven't kept up with the way he's been doing stuff. He did start, like, doing more Twitch streaming recently, and I've been, like, following the channel, like, watching some of his streams every now and then. They're pretty funny, actually. I enjoy seeing Donkey's, like, latest videos. I haven't seen what his React Friday thing he's doing is. I'm pretty sure this is all going to be part of an act, though. I really don't think it's going to be like a long time where Donkey goes through this and continues this. I think he's going to stop it relatively soon. Doesn't seem like his sense of content. It's still funny, though. I just enjoy seeing him dick around like this. I admire those kind of people who can do, like, really detailed, really good, like, humor comedy videos. I'm not got the talent for that. I'm not sure if I'm that funny. I'd certainly like it if I could be. I just don't think I have that much ability to really work around to make my streams that entertaining in that regard. Like, I still like to make them fun and good for you guys to hang out and be able to chat in, but I'm not very good at trying to make it where I can think about a lot I want to talk about, unfortunately. I'm not very good at making jokes either. I feel like I fail every time I try to think of good jokes. Speaking of, like, funny YouTubers, I remember before Germa went, like, full-on streamer, I enjoyed watching his stuff quite a bit, actually. Germa's pretty good. I do miss his old content, though. It's been a long time since he made, like, any videos like that. Both the rap movies were really good, though. Oh, man. Funny how he mentioned, like, a year or two ago, whenever he did that live-action thing, he mentioned, like, wanting to do higher production stuff, then he turned around and went full-on into streaming. I kind of wonder how good his videos would have been if he actually focused on making, like, more skit videos with high production on them. It would have actually been pretty neat, actually. I do miss that side of Germa a little bit. The guy has a good talent for making funny videos, frankly. Who's the funniest YouTuber in you guys' opinion, if you want to talk about that? If not, I mean, don't have to. Just curious to hear opinions on this. I enjoy watching comedy YouTube channels quite a bit. Some that are funny. I mentioned James Rolfe. James Rolfe, like, videos have been really good in that regard, especially, like, his last two I mentioned are really great. I remember, like, the thing with Legend of Kage, where he mentioned in the fucking name pronunciation, the sticky button, but that was really funny. The fucking Street Fighter thing was really good, especially when he got to the fucking thing about Ken and made a joke about the name. How do you pronounce that name? Keen? And he's like, nah, I'm just fucking with you. It's obviously Ken. It's fucking funny, that joke. I don't know why. That made me fucking crack up laughing at it. It's stupid as fuck. Oh, God. I enjoy those kind of dumb jokes. I don't think I added this yet. Let me get that on my counter. There we go. I have a weird sense of humor. I can laugh at the dumbest, most simplistic, like, shit, and yet there's a lot of things where I'll watch and I don't understand the humor of, and I see a lot of people laugh at it. And yet I laugh at, like, the most pointless shit for no reason. Oh gosh, whatever, though. Let's see. I want to talk to YouTubers for a little longer. I wish I could, like, go without my fingers fucking feeling like they were bending in all sorts of fucking awful ways right now, because that doesn't feel pleasant. Ugh, fuck. Fucking pains are awful. Let's see. I've talked about a lot of the YouTubers I like already, so it's not always easy to think of others that I want to talk about. I mean, I could talk about some other stuff in a second if I don't think of anything. Give me a second, though. I've been trying to, like, look into newer YouTubers that I have interest in. Not really new for me, but, like, I've been watching AlphaRad more. AlphaRad's got plenty of good stuff. I enjoy his stuff. For anybody who doesn't know, since I did have a friend who asked me about this, AlphaRad does, like, videos where he does, like, Smash montages a lot. I guess would be the right word, I'm not sure. He does, like, clips of him doing stuff in Smash. He's a pro. Also has, like, a lot of good, funny highlight videos that I like, with, like, him doing Among Us and whatnot. AlphaRad's pretty entertaining. His style of comedy is something I enjoy, especially when it comes to Smash stuff. I would not like to be ever worrying about being featured in one of his videos, like one of his opponents he fights. I don't like the idea of, I hate the idea of being put into a Smash video when I make a stupid play or something. I don't want to be fucking humiliated in front of the internet, though, for no fucking reason. Because I'm not good at Smash Bros. Not like it's a big deal. The guy is funny enough, in my opinion. I don't play Smash that often anymore. Still like it, though. I'm gonna say, since I mentioned Among Us, and I think I mentioned AlphaRad playing it, like, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole trend of Among Us getting, like, really popular on YouTube. Maybe trend wasn't the right word, but, like, I swear there's clips of it on YouTube, like, every day now. It's, like, been this way for a few months now, and frankly, I don't know, I want to see more new games pop up and see more interesting, see, like, more stuff that I can look into, stuff that I have a lot of interest in. And Among Us is cool, don't get me wrong, it seems like a pretty alright game, but I don't feel like I love seeing fucking everybody's fucking clips of it and seeing like all these fucking different highlight videos or whatever that everybody's uploading to YouTube. It gets really old quickly, and feels like with games it's kind of become like the big go-to thing for people to just quickly slap on YouTube now. Fucking either Among Us or Minecraft or whatever. I guess Fortnite to an extent as well, though. I don't know. I feel like I don't see as many cool new games. Oh, actually, you know, I'm gonna wait until I get over there. It's just easier to keep track and not mess things up if I count it now instead of when I'm over there before. There we go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little sick of the Among Us thing. Like, it's still a good game, but it's everywhere on the internet, and I'd like to stop seeing it every fucking time I go on the internet. It feels like it's a little frustrating to see it everywhere. I guess it was kind of like that with Fall Guys for some time. Fall Guys kind of fell out of popularity after some time, though, so not quite the same in my opinion. I don't know. Interesting how that happens with, like, multiplayer games now. A bit popular for a little while, then they end up fucking dying and nobody plays them anymore. That's kind of sad to think about, though. Good multiplayer games, and they get killed off because there's not anybody out there playing them. They just die because there's no audience for the multiplayer. I wish it was easier to find people to play multiplayer games on really anything. If I had a bigger audience, which it's not really a big deal, but like, it'd be cool if we could do something every now and then where we could like go and play an older multiplayer game and like try to get an audience of people to play it, try to get a revival of an old game for a little bit. I know there's some people who do stuff like that, like Varg Skeletor from Vinesauce, aka Vinesauce Joel. Like, he does, like, or at least he did, like, little segments where he would do, like, Fightcade every now and then, and he would, like, play old games on Fightcade and get people playing that. That was pretty neat. I enjoyed seeing that stuff every now and then. Not really interested in fighting games in particular, though. Let me move my back again. Ugh. Let's see. Thinking on more stuff that I'm in the mood to talk about. Anybody here, if there's anybody listening who's like picking up Cyberpunk in another week or two? Because it's like on the, what day is it? Like the 9th or 10th that it comes out? I'm not really going to be getting it, obviously, because I think I've talked about it. I don't have any interest in it. It's neat. It looks like it's a pretty interesting overworld, or like a pretty interesting game, but I don't feel like I have the interest in it. I think it's made by CD Projekt Red. Everybody's like talking about it. It looks fascinating. I'm gonna check some streams of it, but I don't know. It always feels weird, like, being in this position for me. Being like the one person who doesn't keep up to date with like the news and the big open world games, or like the big releases everybody's talking about. I remember it was at E3 or whatever. I remember where it got announced. Maybe it was at Microsoft thing. I don't remember. Like, there was that whole thing with like Lord of the Rings, and there was a new game announced. I can't remember what the hell it was called. Hey there, Zachary. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. What's it called again? Some Lord of the Rings game, and fuck. I remember the character's name. I think it was named after a character. Like, that was hyped up to be pretty big, and I don't know fuck all about Lord of the Rings. It felt really awkward being, like, left out of the discussion because I had no idea about the series and couldn't relate to the hype, unfortunately. I don't know about you guys. I've never really been too into long series, especially series that are like sagas, like how Lord of the Rings is, or also, say, like Star Trek, I think I'm thinking of. Yeah, Star Trek's kind of long, too. I've had interest in those kind of things, just never bothered to watch that series any. Also, sorry if my talking is a little weird right now. Like, I'm just trying to go over stuff that I'm in the mood to talk about, because I've already talked about a whole lot of subjects before you got here, Zachary. Welcome to the stream. Talking about whatever right now. Decided to talk about, like, games and movies and stuff for a little bit. Let's see. I have the same problem with Star Wars that I do with Star Trek, though. I've never really gotten involved with either one of those series too much. I think that's 352. If I'm miscounting, my bad. I'm trying my best to, like, pay attention and not overcount on my thing. I think I'm still accurate with my number, though. Be really careful not to overdo it.
Dude, that throat is really acting nasty lately. I don't know why. Let's see. Where were we? Talking about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and Star Trek. I've never really gotten into any of those. I don't know about you guys. I always find it daunting to watch something really long, though. Especially if it spans over multiple movies. I mean, sure, some of them are really good. Some of them are also a fucking commitment to watch, though. Not like they're bad, though. Harry Potter's good. I always enjoyed watching the Harry Potter movies. Those are fun. That's a pretty big saga of movies, like, quite a lot to them, so I guess it really just depends. I enjoyed that series quite a bit. I feel like with the animated movies, it might just be me, it's a little easier to sit down and watch something animated for longer. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. Like, I guess because it's just something I'm used to seeing, because I watched a lot of cartoons and animated shows over my life. Whenever I see that kind of stuff, I can pick up and watch it a little easier. Whenever you ask me to watch a movie that's like live action, like 4 or 5 hours, and there's like 2 or 3 movies in the series, though, it always turns into like a groan, and it's like, yeah, I don't know if I have the patience to sit through that or not. Speaking of Star Wars and Star Trek, I don't know if this is like a common thing. I've watched a bit of Star Trek, like I've watched like the remake stuff. I watched the first movie and I found that alright and enjoyed it. Then I watched like the second remake they did, and it was fucking boring, like really boring. The one about Khan. I don't know all the details of the movie, unfortunately, because I don't know much about Star Trek, but like, I was sitting there trying my best to watch it, like nodding off. And this is in the middle of a class we were doing. It wasn't really that big of a deal since we were doing a movie, but like, this movie did not keep my attention at all. Like, there was nothing interesting about it. The story was so slow and took forever to, like, progress. I didn't really love what I was seeing out of it. I think it's a problem with, like, a lot of older movies, and I guess with the remake, it's easy to see where this would translate into a problem if they're trying to be faithful, fucking remaking everything, even the boring parts at some point. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever get into Star Wars for that reason. Hard to sit through, like, too much monologuing and talking and then try to watch what's going on. I feel like I need to see a little bit of action when I'm watching a movie. Excuse me. Like, I'd enjoy seeing stuff actually happen on the screen frequently. Reminds me, I watched Star Wars Episode 4, like, was it a year ago? I don't remember. I watched it not that long ago, maybe it was last year, and I enjoyed it, but I had some trouble sitting through all of it. I nearly fell asleep at some points watching it, because even though it was interesting, there were also some points that were kind of not that amazing and were kind of a little bit on the boring side. Really good movie, but it's very hard to sit down and stomach when they keep some of it entertaining and some of it's just like, okay, this is cool and all, but like, get to the point of what's going on and stop like wasting time. It's generally better when the plot moves a little bit faster rather than taking fucking forever. It takes me out of a movie when it ends up taking too long to go through like lore and explain shit. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. It's the same way where even though I like RPG games, if I see like a game that overdoes it on the reading, I get really bored of it really quickly. Let's see here. What was I discussing before I... Oh yeah, I was talking about games, actually. I mentioned a lot of stuff, actually, talking about, like, different games. Is there anything big upcoming? Like, I mean... Only thing I can think of that's upcoming that I even remember is, like... Well, like, there's some stuff from PlayStation 5 and, like, the Xbox event, but I can't remember any of that particularly by name. I just remember Ratchet and Clank right now. That's like it. I think I remembered some horror game as well that I don't remember the name of, and Fable 4 being like really big. Those were like the things I remember from that. Cyberpunk's like the only thing that really comes up as like really upcoming that's really big that I can remember. I don't think Nintendo's got anything like big announced for 2021 yet. Like, all we know about is Mario 3D World getting ported to Switch, and frankly, I'm not super hyped about another Wii U port. I don't know. It's hard to get hyped about a game I've already played and experienced most of in, like, limited amounts of new content. Hopefully whatever's coming next year will be good, though. Hopefully there'll be some interesting stuff. Speaking of new games and, like, stuff going on, anybody had interest or tried to pick up, like, a PlayStation 5 right now? I don't think the same problem's going around with, like, the new Xbox, but, like, I hear scalping for PlayStation 5s is fucking out of hand right now. All because of Sony, like, not putting out a lot of units, and now it's selling out really quickly, and all the scalpers are picking up the PlayStation 5 and selling it at, like, a huge markup. I fucking hate scalpers. It genuinely sucks seeing, like, a cool new thing get released, and then you see scalpers, like, run to store shelves and try to buy up all the product before anybody else can, and end up fucking making it impossible for like, the casual consumers or just the people who have, like, a passing interest in getting a new console to get their hands on one. It'd be so much better if we didn't have to worry about fucking scalpers when they're trying to buy shit. I've had interest in getting a PS5, but I don't see myself picking one up anytime soon. $500 is a fucking lot of money for a new console. Although, I mean, a lot of people have been paying for like, right now, they've been getting it at full price, but I don't know if I want to buy $500 new console. I don't know. What's everyone's opinions on the PlayStation 5 right now, out of curiosity? Like, obviously, if you haven't played it, it's fine to not comment on it, but I mean, like, what are your impressions you get from, like, looking at the PS5 stuff? I just want to hear, like, what everyone thinks. If you don't have anything to say, you don't have to, though. I don't feel like what I've seen so far has been an amazing value for, like, $500, though. I might be a little bit harsh on them, but I genuinely feel like they could do a better job at their offerings. I think there's, like, 2 exclusives right now. The only exclusives I can even think of and name from, like, PlayStation 5 are Astro's Playroom, and also on top of that, there's Demon Souls, and everything else seems to be available on PS4 or PC. Not really an amazing launch offering. I mean, the games are kind of cool, though. I do like Bug Snacks, and I don't know, I don't feel like $500 for a few games is entirely worth it at launch, though. I'm sure it'll be better next year. I don't know. Some of their bundles have been pretty good, though, I gotta say. Like, I do like the look of the Spider-Man thing. I think they're selling a thing with, like, Miles Morales, and you can, like, pay $70 or something and get, like, the original Spider-Man PS4 remastered, and you get that along with, like, the new Spider-Man game. One of these days, if it drops down in price, I'll probably look into it. I think at $400 or $300, I'd be willing to get PS5 and catch up on some PlayStation games I've never played. Frankly, when I talk about PlayStation 5 and I bring up, like, new consoles, like, have literally, like, no interest in the new Xbox. I might be alone in that, but I don't see the selling point of the new Xbox right now. I feel like the new Xbox is not going to get a lot of love for being something where there's, like, no exclusives. It's all stuff you can buy on PC as well. And some of it's on other platforms, so it's like, I don't know. It just seems like an upgrade with, like, not much else to it. In fact, I think I recall something from Microsoft saying, like, all Xbox Series X games are going to be, like, Xbox One compatible, and it's like, okay, if you're making a new console and you're trying to sell people on it, like, is that really going to be your only fucking selling point? Is that if you have, like, new hardware and nothing else to talk about, like, exclusives are pretty much what make consoles. You're just selling people a pricier, or maybe not pricier would be the right word, like, you're selling people at a
fucking PC at that point when you're not even offering like exclusive games on the console. Like, I don't see any point in buying it. I might be alone there. I know they've got a good service, like Xbox Live is good for selling like a lot of games to the consumers. It's a really good prescription service, but outside of that, I don't really know if there's anything amazing about the new one. I don't think I'll ever end up buying a new Xbox, probably. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Wanted to vent about that a little bit. Any games you guys are looking forward to next year? Anything good you're interested in picking up? I'm looking at a lot of the PS5 stuff out of, like, curiosity. Although a lot of the stuff I got my eye on isn't exactly exclusive. I mean, only one I can think of that is exclusive is Ratchet and Clank. Let's see. Ratchet and Clank is one... Oh gosh, my nose. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I just felt like I needed to mute while my nose was bothering me, and I had to take a second to deal with it. I thought about putting a hotkey on my keyboard for mic mute, but I also worry that if I do that, I might end up accidentally fucking fat fingering the mic mute at some point by... excuse me, my throat. That was fucking weird. But yeah, I feel like I'm the type of person who'd accidentally fucking fat finger the button and then end up fucking muting myself totally unintentionally, so... I don't know. It's kind of a fucking thing where it's like, do I set it up for convenience sake, or do I just leave it? Whatever, though. Hold on a second. Making sure I didn't forget to unmute for some reason. I can be bad about that. How's my chat holding up? Everything working correctly? Just gotta double check. I see my test message went through. Let me reload the page, though. I hope I've been miscounting my encounters. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Like, I feel like I'm going a lot quicker with this than I was yesterday. Let me just make sure my stuff shows when I reload YouTube. Okay, good. It seems like it's working. Also, I don't really like how this is a small complaint about just the game right now, but like, I don't like how if you run over the same spot by accident and it like takes the light out and it's no longer lit up and you have to go walk over it again to get the thing lit up completely. That's something I find to be a bit of a nuisance, frankly. There's really no need to make it like that. So just let it stay locked in place until you go and interact with the statue again. But whatever, not a big deal. Okay, right. Let's see. Where were we? We were talking about some stuff. Talking about exclusives, I think. Or just games in general, really. Let's see. Ratchet and Clank looks good. That's something I'm interested in. I'm thinking on PlayStation 4 stuff. The Deathloop game, that looks pretty interesting, too. I like the concept behind it. I don't know if it's going to be amazing or not. I think it's exclusive. That's okay looking. I know Final Fantasy 16 was teased. I don't think it's going to be a 2021 game. In fact, I think that'll be some time before they get it ready. My throat's acting really nasty right now. Sorry about that. There's also Resident Evil 8. I know that's not exclusive either. Those both look interesting. I'm surprised we haven't heard about Resident Evil 7 remake more. Like, we've only gotten part of the storyline, and surely they're going to continue it. It wouldn't make sense to just leave it and then not do anything else. I think we're up one. I'm not sure. I'm going to add this to my counter. If I'm miscounting, I'm going to feel really dumb, but I mean, I genuinely think I forgot to add something there. Fuck. I've been keeping the best eye on where we're sitting at in terms of progress. Let's see. Anything else I can think of? Microsoft stuff, I don't remember by title. I don't know if I trust how Microsoft's development schedule is going either, though. They talked about Halo Halo Infinite or whatever being like a big launch title for the new Xbox, and then they fucking didn't even manage to meet that. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Microsoft. Like, you have one game that you're trying to promote for your console launch. It's like the big selling point, and you can't even get that out in time for the console's launch. Like, what's going on here? I don't know. And from what I've seen, the graphics aren't the absolute most amazing either. Like, Microsoft, pull your shit together. You don't fucking get on your production of your console and making it more interesting and giving more selling points. You guys are going to lose the console race this generation. Like, Nintendo's still killing it with the Switch, and I think it's a little too early to say how PS5 is going to go, but I don't think PS5 is going to struggle at any rate. Not the way it's going right now. Ugh. My throat. My throat and my nose are both bothering me. I feel like my throat's getting congested by drainage shit right now, and it's bothering me a little bit. Actually, I had a good way to deal with this crap, like drainage. Gonna likely cut the stream a little bit shorter than I planned to as a result of this. I'm just not gonna count this one. I'm gonna say that one will be just a way to offset that in case I was wrong earlier, because I didn't keep close track of the numbers just to be safe. You know, I wonder if we'll ever see, like, another console pop up in the, like, console wars. Obviously, they've kind of died down and not really are as big of a deal nowadays. You guys remember the console wars back in the day? Like, God, everything was super fucking cutthroat. Nowadays, it's not as bad. It's still not great, but, like, now you see game companies being all buddy-buddy over, like, Twitter or whatever with, like, PlayStation and Xbox, or Nintendo and Xbox or whatever, talking about stuff on Twitter and, like, sometimes even promoting their competition. It's really interesting to see how things have changed over the years. How it was like Nintendo and Sega, they were having a fucking really, really crazy competitive rivalry where they hated each other. Same was like the case with Nintendo and PlayStation. And then, wait, what was I thinking of? I said one more and I forgot. I mean, a lot of it was kind of cutthroat like that, and then all of a sudden when I got to, like, the Xbox era, like, it feels like things slowly started to change. It's weird seeing this, like, gradual change. I wonder if Sega could ever, like, re-enter the console market. I don't feel like it's very likely, though. I feel like Sega is probably going to stick to being software manufacturer. I've seen so many people, like, try to make, like, oh, Sega's going to make a new console and make a Dreamcast too, and it's like, I don't think they're interested in making a Dreamcast 2. I think Sega realized they'd screwed up with their game library, didn't make things work with their consoles well enough, and they're sticking to making video games and not consoles now because they don't want to run the risk anymore. They wanted to make a new console and make a comeback. They could have done it already. I think these console comeback stories are kind of like not that uncommon either. I recall hearing about some Atari console like at least a year or two ago, and I haven't seen anything on that in a long time. Let me Google that in a second. I'm curious if this whole thing was like a rumor or not. I don't recall if Atari actually like said anything official about this, or if this was just like fans speculating there was going to be some new Atari. That would just feel weird to see Atari come back more than any other console manufacturer. Atari is one of those people, it's like, they made games back in the retro days when games were like fucking 8-bit and under, if you can even, I don't know what you called Atari stuff. I guess it's just like pixel games or whatever, maybe 4-bit. It feels like 8-bit might even be giving the games a little too much credit. Maybe it's not, but like those games didn't look as good as like say Mario or Zelda or whatever. I couldn't imagine somebody who makes games like Pong or say like what's the name of it? Well, they made E.T. as well, which is a fucking catastrophe of a video game, to be frank, and funny how it kind of soiled the name of a movie too, to an extent. And they made like a bunch of games like this and some maze games, or they made a whole bunch of stuff like somebody who makes those games. I couldn't imagine what they would do for making console games in this generation. I couldn't see Atari producing like high definition console titles. It just feels like it'd be an alien concept. I don't know. Let's see what Google says when I search this in a second, though. Oh yeah, I can feel that. I'm getting some nasty allergies and sniffle problems. I was worried about not feeling great. Maybe I should have taken some pills or something. I'll take some extra measures before I stream tomorrow, but yeah, I'm gonna cut the stream when I get done with reaching another 200 or so encounters, because I want to do this the way I did yesterday. I think since I'm not feeling super perfect, I'll just make it so I do fucking up to 400-ish encounters, and then we'll stop since I had 200 yesterday. Let's see what Google says when I search this now. I'm curious. Throat's still acting up, sorry. I needed a second there. Oops. Atari new console. What does this say when I look this up? What is this? Saw something when I looked it up. Atari VCS. I've never heard of this. The fuck? Let me look this page really quick and see what the hell this is. I heard about this thing for a long time. Sounds like this might have actually been like an actual thing that's been in development, like an actual oh wait, shit, actually I think I may have added this one. Fuck, I didn't pay attention enough. I think I added the encounter. I pay close attention. Yeah, I've never heard of this, even though I've heard of the Atari rumors. Maybe this is a real thing. Let me see what this page says. I'm genuinely curious about what this is, if it is a new console. Let me see. I'm surprised to even hear about this thing. Atari's new PC console hybrid. What? What in the fuck is this? Turn to the modern gaming and video games. Did a lot of gamers and what is this? Is this it says screenplay? Okay, create, develop new TV-based games and apps. Atari, it's encouraging you to make your own games? Okay, that's weird. Stream, what's your favorite web-based streaming videos and entertainment play? 60 FPS. Really? They mentioned this, and I don't see any kind of, like, first-party content from them, or even, like, third-party exclusive thing when I'm looking at the page. Maybe I'm not looking carefully, and there's, like, a few selling points in here. New and classic games on target, the new open platform, AMD Ryzen with Radeon graphics technology. Okay, interesting. It sounds like they're trying to at least put in, like, high graphic output. The idea of a PC and console hybrid, though, doesn't sound like a very compelling argument for a new console. I mean, Switch is console and handheld hybrid, and that's more natural to be a good selling point because, like, people want portability for a PC, for God's sake. It's like, isn't that kind of just what consoles have turned into already? Like, feels like it's not really saying anything and just adding fluff to your fucking tagline, honestly. Let's see. The other thing here says connect. I'm looking at this page trying to get a good, like, look at it. If it wasn't the fact that it to take attention away from, like, the stream, I'd actually show, like, the page I'm looking at just to show you guys what this looked like and then read it, but I don't want to take away attention to the page, and I also don't want to have a chance of me missing an on-screen shiny. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. I don't know, maybe it'll happen soon. What are the shiny charm mods again for Sword and Shield? I think it's like 1 out of 1300 or something, so we've still got like quite a ways where we're even set at odds for shiny charm, so it could take a while depending. Let's see, connect. First, connect the device. Open new possibilities. Excuse me. Open. We're in the poster. They have an expansive gamers, fans, and devs. Okay, whatever, Atari. It just sounds like you're getting into, like, basically online gaming for the first time. That's still not impressive. What is this? Hold on, wait a second. Am I looking at this right? Give me a second. The fuck? I'm looking at, like, their thing here. I see a fucking thing that looks like... What the hell? Their system, I'm looking at it right now. I thought I was wrong, and I looked at the picture at first, and I was, like, checking on, like what I was looking at. The fucking console looks like a goddamn modem. I'm not even joking when I say this. Let me see if I can download a picture of this thing really quick. Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, there, I got a picture saved. I'm just going to go activate this while I try to get this on my OBS so you guys can see this. Meanwhile, in like the actual picture they're showing, it looks completely different looking, unless I'm looking at the wrong part of it. And the controller is a fucking joystick. Okay, Atari, sure. Because people are really going to want to use the joystick as their fucking preferred method of playing games in 2020 and not a proper controller. Although this might just be like for one type of game and not an actual controller. Let me look at their thing. Yeah, they do have a modern controller too, so maybe it's not too bad. Doesn't look like anything impressive. Let me get this on my thing now really quick. Add image. Give me a second. Browse. Where the fuck is this saved at? Is it on my pictures folder? Oh, there it is. Give me just a second. There we go. That's big still. This is a picture of the new Atari thing. Wait, shit. Let's see. Click that. There we go. This is what it looks like, evidently. This looks like it's a fucking modem. This doesn't look like a video game console. Like, really? This is your design for your new console? I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I hope you can find a way to get people on board. Nobody's talking about it either, Atari. That looks pretty pathetic. Not gonna lie. Thought I'd show that. This thing, like, I had low expectations looking at it, but, like, when I actually get a closer look on it, like, yeah, I'm not surprised if, like, nobody's talking about it. It doesn't look like it's impressive. This is what they're trying to do for new console, trying to get themselves back in the running, then they better fucking really goddamn get their shit together, because I think this thing's gonna flop really fucking hard, frankly. Ugh. See this all the time where people try to introduce new consoles, and then they fucking immediately flop and don't fucking sell very well. You guys remember the Ouya? The Ouya lasted like all of like a month at most before it fucking completely just flopped out of the market and failed entirely. Give me a second. I want to go back and read on this. I can tell you guys about this and like read as I go along so we can see what this page says. I'm gonna check this thing really quick though. No, nothing on here looks that impressive. I don't know what the fuck this is. It says PC mode. Interesting, I guess. Got a lot of their classic games on advertised on here, and it's like, this is supposed to be a modern console. You're not really doing a very good job of hooking anybody with old games. I don't think anybody's gonna be buying a new console to be playing a bunch of Atari games and probably fan-made games. This is starting to remind me of Google Stadia almost. Let's see. I think that's it, actually. I don't see anything else. They got more on the page, but I think I covered most of the stuff already. It's just like all technical shit otherwise. Like, wow, Atari, good job. You managed to make a new console and make it fucking boring as fucking completely uninteresting sounding. Like, I'm not surprised. They've been out of the console market for so fucking long, and now they're trying to make a new console. The concept of it just sounds like it's not that interesting, frankly. I'm curious what the newest Atari game actually is, like what their last game they've made is. I could Google search that. Let's see what pops up when I look it up, actually, because I'm curious. What is Atari's latest game? I want to know what this says. And to look and find a fucking Google or Wikipedia page just to fucking find what I was looking for. Let me see. Am I reading this right? It sounds like their last game was in the 80s. I could have sworn Atari was still active and doing stuff with games during, like, at least, like, some point during the 20s. Did they just spend their time making, like, fucking garbage plug-and-play shit that nobody really gave a shit about? Because I don't see any other game listings when I look on their Wikipedia page for, like, all the stuff they've made. Jesus. I think Atari's fucking out of touch with the rest of the game industry. Like, oh yeah, hey guys, we're making a new console. It's got all our old games on it and it's HD. It's like, what the fuck are you doing for your advertising for your, like, console? I've seen other people who've, like, made like different advertising points for consoles they wanted to try and put out in the market, and even though none of them really succeeded, it's like, at least they had, like, a decent offering for their console. Then you have Atari here who tries to hook people on the idea of old games. This thing's probably gonna fucking flop and really goddamn hard, I bet. Like, I saw with the Ouya earlier. Actually, the Ouya feels like the Ouya had more selling point to it than this thing did. I'm actually surprised just looking at this shit. I wasn't expecting this at all to be what they considered for a new console. It's gonna fail, probably. I'm curious. I don't know if this really matters, but, like, would you guys count the Stadia as, like, a console? I don't think I would. I guess it was like a streaming service and, like, a device meant to play games on it. I remember Google making a big deal out of Stadia when it was, like, brand new. Funny how Stadia was, like, talked about so much. I think it's mostly, like, Google and promoting, like, a system trying to get people to talk about it, and then, like, it comes out, and just like everybody says there's fucking issues with it, nobody's actually impressed with it, and it fucking bombs, and even the people who are being paid to talk about it are, like, suddenly just going silent and not mentioning it. It's like, gee, it's almost like your fucking product is really dumb and really bad, and it's no wonder that people are not interested in it. It's like, I don't know. Apparently, unless I misremembered, I think I recall hearing about, like, Google trying to make a Stadia 2 already, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, Google? This cloud gaming shit is not going to hook on. It requires internet connection. It's got problems with the controls, and it's all mobile based, and it's like, I don't know anybody who's interested in it, frankly. Like, I think most people are going to dismiss it, and it's going to flop again, and it doesn't sound like a very good selling point, frankly. I don't know about you guys, I don't like playing mobile games a whole lot. There's some that are good, some that are fun, but when you see, like, a game from consoles get ported to mobile ports, it's always bad. It's always, like, fucking do some convoluted shit with your fingers to use the control scheme. It's like, yeah, I don't think this thing's gonna sell well. If by some chance the Google Stadia has, like, a successor that actually sells well, then color me surprised. Congrats, Google. You managed to make something that isn't a total failure, but yeah, I'm not expecting that to happen. I'll be surprised and I'll eat my words if they do. It's not likely going to happen, though. I wonder if we will eventually see somebody who can make a competent sounding fourth console to compete with Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo one day, though. Although, to be frank, I think it's probably very unlikely we'll even keep having 3 if this keeps up. I wouldn't even be surprised if Microsoft drops out of the console race. I don't feel like they're bringing anything to the table anymore. Who would be like another person that can make a big name console, actually? Somebody who could do, has like the money to actually make one. I'm just thinking. When I think of like different options, I've got a few ideas rolling around in my mind. I would have said Valve like a few years back, but I think Valve is like probably not going to dabble in consoles after making the Steam PC thing, and it didn't really take off any, so I think they're probably done with that idea. I think they're just going to stick to their VR space they're working in instead and keep doing that. I could see Ubisoft maybe looking into consoles. I don't know if they have the interest in it. I think Ubisoft to be able to put an interesting spin on like a new console, and I'd be down to see what they're able to make with it. I don't know if their games are compelling enough to hold like an entire console. They'd have to contract some third-party stuff too if they wanted to. They could make something kind of neat though with all their stuff. They've got Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, they've got Rayman, Rabbids, they've got a bunch of different series they could use for making like new stuff, so I think the idea of them making a console wouldn't be too far-fetched out there. Like, other than Ubisoft, let's see, I would say Activision, but I think Activision isn't Activision like been running into like problems with their like funding. I think I recall hearing that they had to like scale down their projects and sell some of their IP off. Like, that's what I think I remember hearing from Activision, and it would make sense. They discontinued Skylanders and they started making more of Spyro and Crash again because both those games have a bigger core audience than Skylanders does, so it makes sense to go back to their roots there. I'm kind of glad they did, though. I like Spyro and Crash quite a bit. One of these days, I need to catch up and play more of it. I hate not knowing if I'm going to ever go back to streaming full-time, but if I do, we're totally doing more Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I'm interested in playing more of it. I like Spyro. I want to play more Spyro. I don't think I counted this. I think I may have counted this, I'm not sure. Shit. It would be interesting to see Activision's take on a console. I wonder if people would buy a new console with the promise of getting a yearly Call of Duty title or not. That'd be a little odd, though, to think about, since Activision is still big on making Call of Duty. You guys play the Call of Duty games? I certainly don't. I don't keep up with them. I don't care. Thought about trying out Warzone since it's free. I know that Cold War game just came out. I don't know how that is. Isn't Cold War like a different scenario where Cold War is actually like a game you have to pay for? Let me see. I'm going to see what it says. Cold War, yeah, let's see. What's the results? I don't... Oh, yeah, it is... Like, it does cost. Okay, just checking. I wasn't sure. Apparently, you can get it for $50. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it. I don't care about Call of Duty, to be honest, so... Yeah, I'm not gonna be picking that up anytime soon. And I don't really care about the whole cookie-cutter shooters that are released once every year, so... Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass. Damn, I'm looking at the fucking rating on, like, Google, actually, when I looked this up. Apparently, people are rating the game at, like, 1 star, and the average rating is, like, 2.2 stars. The people really don't like this game. Seems like the reviews are either 5 or 1, and that's really decisive. I mean, I'm not gonna blame them. There's too much Call of Duty, I think, at this point. have to try out Warzone one day. I am interested in checking it out since it's... I don't know why I have a weird passing interest in, like, Battle Royale games. Not like a huge one, but I do like checking them out somewhat, and I know Warzone's supposed to be free, so maybe I'll consider playing that. Although I think the, like, space requirements on computer are really fucking costly, so trying to store up like 200 or 300 gigabytes for one game is fucking ridiculous. Speaking of that exact thing, I don't know if you guys agree with me. It's kind of weird seeing devs, like, have their games be fucking huge now still, and, like, not accommodating for, like, space needs at all. They just, like, give their games, like, a ton of, like, assets, and the games end up, like, being bloated with too much shit in them, and it's fucking hard to, like, install some of them. Like, fucking, that's something that's kind of annoying. It happens really frequently. Like, devs don't bother to make their games optimized anymore. Only Nintendo does that, and I think Nintendo kind of pressures people releasing on Switch to do that because it's more useful for us. Oh, Warzone's on Switch? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Actually, was completely unaware of that. Hold on a second, I'm going to add this. I think I've got one more encounter I'm doing, and then we're going to stop for tonight after I'm done with this. Also, my fingers are fucking in a lot of pain right now. I don't know why. I think it's just problems. I guess, I don't know. I need to get my... I had, like, my fingers checked out, but I haven't got, like, the thing I was supposed to get for them, like a little splint or whatever to put on my fingers to keep them from fucking aching so much. I need to go pick that up sometime. I haven't done that in several months. That's bad. Ooh. Whatever. Ooh. I didn't know about Warzone on the Switch, though. I'm going to look that up really quick, actually. Move my thing where I can see. Wait a second. That's weird. When I look it up, I don't see any results. I might have to look again for a second. Yeah, when I look, I don't see it, unless maybe it isn't? I don't know. I thought maybe it was, and I saw that. As I'm out looking, and I think I see results about Black Ops being on the Switch, but not Warzone, unless I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Whoops. Cold War. I think I botched the search pretty bad. According to what I'm seeing right now, there's no Call of Duty games that are on the Switch at the moment, so I guess that answers that. This is from, like, November, but I don't see any results for it when I look. You'd think they'd want to port it over to Switch, though. I mean, it does sell pretty well, so you'd expect that they'd try to get it up on the Switch. It makes sense to. Also, I hope I haven't been missing too many encounters. I think I may have potentially missed one Regidrago. There's the last one we're doing tonight, for real, just to make sure. That'll put us at 402. That's plenty for right now. Okay, let me check my stuff again. I'm almost certain I can answer this that no, I've not seen anything. I'm pretty sure I would have seen and heard the sparkle. One thing I'm concerned about, even though you can see the color in, like, the little side where his, like, I don't know what you call them are, like, I guess his arms would be the right way to describe it. I almost said wings, but I don't think that's the right way to word it. Like, those little dragon maws, like, you can see it's blue on here, but when I look at it, it only looks like slightly lighter gray on, like, in-game screenshots. I'm a little concerned I'll have trouble telling that it's a shiny. I guess we'll continue tomorrow and try to see if we can get any luck with this. I would do more of this, but I don't want to be going on when I'm not feeling certainly 100% perfect, and also I don't want to be struggling with, like, too much to say right now, so I think we're going to cut our losses and say we're done tonight, and we'll continue this probably tomorrow, and then I might take a day or two break after tomorrow, and and then come back to it in full force after that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I hope you all have a great day or night, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye, everybody. Take care.